It's a big podcast. It's a big podcast this week. It's a big podcast.
Too big.
It's a podcast full of trailers. There were like 3 or 4 different like live presentations this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, at first I was like, oh no, there's not as much like controversy news to talk about, and then I was like, right, but there's like a billion trailers to talk about. So get ready, everybody. Buckle your seatbelt. Put your tray tables in the upright position. I don't know why you have to do that. Is it in case the airplane crashes? Like, it cuts you in half. It like goes through your midsection, and then the airplane is liable for like you got cut in half on an airplane.
Yeah, and really the buckle only holds your lower half. So if you're cut in half, your upper body is just flying all over the place.
It's
you're
bounding
just
around.
Slapping people left and right. Like, it's just the worst.
You're like a blood spread. No, what were those things from the 80s that was like a water weasel or whatever, where it's like,
oh my god,
you put it on the hose, it would just fucking whip all around.
Yeah, you couldn't get super close to it because it would just whip in your face. Yeah.
Yep. I didn't have one of those because we weren't rich when I was a kid, so it was just like, here's that sprinkler.
Hell yeah! First of all, I fucks with the sprinklers. I loved that shit as a kid.
Or like, okay, do you prefer the point or the slow wavy back and forth?
I like the ones that would
jump
just
over it,
just forward motion and didn't do anything but that. Like
they just spray water in one direction.
Yeah, and then you, as the energetic child, would just run back and forth.
Or you could just get the hose and just spray your siblings with the hose.
Yeah, we used to do that, and you would pinch it, right? You pinch the hose.
Put your thumb on there.
Yeah,
get that high pressure.
Yeah,
Patow.
Take people out. That's what you do.
It's gonna be summer again. It's gonna be so hot. So soon. Anywho, welcome back, everybody, to the Rage Select Podcast. Here, Rage Select. I'm Jeff.
Amanda.
Yes, Amanda. This is the point of the podcast where we normally talk about what we've watched this week, and or seen or done or whatever. I mean,
this whole last week or 2 weeks since I've been on the podcast has been a blur, and I don't remember any of it.
Sounds great. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I'm like, did I do anything?
Did I watch anything? Did I play anything?
No, John got an Xbox
Series X.
Series X, yeah. It came in today. And he got, they came in today, day we are recording this. Mm-hmm. And he got out of work early today.
Oh, shit.
And
so it's good that you're over here.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to sleep, right? I got out of work and I got home and it was 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
I ate breakfast and then I went to sleep. And then at noon, John's like, my Xbox is here and I'm out of work. And I was like, oh, good. This is all happening in the room that I'm trying to sleep in.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of torn because I did watch the Panda movie last week.
Oh, Turning Red?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was fine.
People were like, this is amazing. And I haven't seen a movie about generational trauma in forever. And I'm like, Encanto came out just minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you talking about?
Kind of feel like a mom with unrealistic expectations. Like, didn't you guys have one of these just like yesterday? It was fine.
Yeah, it sounded cute. I haven't watched it yet, so I can't say. But
Asian Teen Wolf for girls.
Hell yeah.
Okay, but I would talk about something much more important because did you know that 8 days ago or something like that, somewhere around in the last week, there was a new Salad Fingers.
What year is it?
Did you know the guy that makes Salad Fingers is still making salad fingers?
What? Okay.
And I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell the internet, if you don't know what Salad Fingers is, you need to stop and go look up Salad Fingers and watch the compilation of Salad Fingers 1 through 11.
Yeah.
And then come back when you're all skeeved out and creepied and you're just having a weird day now and food doesn't taste right.
Yeah.
That's the mental space. Because I also watched a couple of the other things that he's done, and there's there are cartoons on there was a golden era of internet cartoons that were all fucked up and stuff.
Why is Salad Fingers already on your
because I watched one Salad Fingers, and so
now you gotta watch
10 days
all
ago
Salad Fingers.
there was a new Salad Fingers. There's all this other stuff, there's this Sock 6
what the
thing,
fuck
and it's
am I looking at?
It's really it reminds me of old Liquid Television, and it's very
this reminds me of Newgrounds.
Yeah, it's just it's old.
I guess that makes sense though. Wasn't the first Salad Fingers a Newgrounds thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Jesus Christ.
it's all weird and disturbing and upsetting and gross.
Yeah.
And this one has a lot of people putting their tongues in each other's mouths, which is not the best. But like, yeah, David Firth is still making stuff.
Yeah.
Still making
He's
salad fingers.
still making people uncomfortable.
And in fact, from the Salad Fingers, the latest one, it turns out that that there's like a whole merch store.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also just like, hey, you know what? Like, YouTube is going to demonetize this. Like, please go to my Patreon and give me money. But like, yeah, you could buy plush salad fingers. You
what
can buy these slippers where you can
fucking person wants a plush salad fingers in their like home somewhere?
So
I would buy that for someone and then not tell them I bought it for them and just hide it in their house.
I wonder how many people know what Salad Fingers is, because I remember that it was shown to me when it first was a thing, which was like 10, 15 years ago or something like that. Like, it's old. It was like
a standard of like the goth kids when I was growing up.
A flash animation that was just like very creepy and weird and dark and like unsettling, like all the verbs for not just like, it's not like scary, but it's more just like
it just makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, the way that the main character with Salad Fingers talks and stuff. Also, fucking Matt Pat had a whole Salad Fingers thing on Film Theory, I think, where they went over like theories that it's like a post-apocalyptic thing. So I'd like to think that Salad Fingers is my generation's Adventure Time, because I was too old for Adventure Time.
100%. This is what's wrong with your generation, is that you had Salad Fingers instead of Adventure Time.
This is why Generation X is like you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, you should all go watch Salad Fingers,
Hell
y'all.
yeah.
Like, This Salad Fingers 12 is mostly about Salad Fingers going on a date with a dead dog that's cut in two and rotting.
Yeah.
So, that happens.
Yeah. Speaking of creepy stuff, I have watched something, the Backrooms. Have you watched it's a YouTube series?
No.
Like Matt Pat did a film theory on that as well.
The Backrooms?
I think, let me see if I can...
The Backrooms found footage seems like this
Nick Crowley well, that's the Matt Pat thing,
right?
No, that's not it. I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
Kane Pixels is the person that made it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is a found footage
creepy.
So like it's taken from a creepypasta, and then he's just developed it into what like Marble Hornets did for Slender Man.
Yeah.
So the Backrooms is an idea that like there's a place where people will like glitch out of our reality and into this other reality, and it's just essentially an office building, but it's wrong. There's like no exits. It just feels, so you have that weird like hum of fluorescent lights that are too bright, and there's something there. And he creates an entire story and back catalog to it, but it's fantastic. This kid's still in high school.
Really?
It's creepy. It doesn't show too much, even when he's giving you more details, like backstory on like the whole thing is all the other videos kind of show like this was actually a thing that was created or opened up into by scientists that were trying to like solve housing issues. And
sorry, watching this one where it's like it was running through like it looks like infinity of the same room.
And then this thing that looks almost like robotic, but maybe not. And
it's kind of like chasing. Yeah, no, I was watching another film theory thing that was like another one of these like like found footage 80s TV channel, kind of like not like the cable one, but it was another one. And I'm not gonna lie to you, everybody. It was real late, and I got a little spooked out, so I stopped watching it. It was just, it was really late. It was this thing, the Mandela catalog.
Ooh, I'll have to look that one up. I haven't seen that one
There's
yet.
like several. I didn't watch the next one, but like there was a first one. But yeah,
Mandela catalog. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I don't sub to film theory because I don't care about most of I don't care about most of his film theories. Like I watch game theory, but like film theory, it's only when it's something interesting.
I think the one that I thought was interesting was on game theory, which was that they they turned to those weird, creepy phone games that have like the old lady backstory that like murdered a guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they made like live action promos with like Kathy Bates as the mom.
That's amazing.
Did you not see that?
No, I haven't seen that one. I watched because he did like 2 different theories on the animated version of the. Yeah. And I watched those, but I haven't watched the.
It was I forget what the name of the thing is. It's Merge Mansion is the name. But like apparently the Merge Mansion promos, like it's gotten so popular that they've now on their like main YouTube channel have like actual live action versions of the promos from Merge Mansion, which is really strange.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, it's like just a whatever bullshit game, right? Yeah. Isn't it just like a puzzle game or something? But it's
fucking
she's so twisted.
Kathy Bates is the grandma character.
That's fucking weird.
So, yeah. Anyway, lots of stuff on YouTube.
Also, though, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because she looks exactly like that fucking character.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of good creepy stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and we're creepy as fuck.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you who else is creepy as fuck.
Who else?
This is J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Just a little creepy. Yeah. We're going to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. I did want to take, though, a brief moment to briefly talk about fucking J.K. Rowling, because I know that there's a lot of that kind of going around with this game. I am not a fan of Ms. Rowling and her opinions. But I think that this falls in a lot of ways under a lot of the... I've talked before about how, like, there's a lot of things in this world where it's like, here's a thing that you like that was made by somebody that was a scumbag or by somebody who you disagree with, you know. But, like... in a certain way, it all kind of depends on, you know, whether that's going to stop you from doing a thing is going to depend on how closely you link art and artist.
Yeah.
I tend to divorce the two of them. Like, you know, we played the FNAF Security Breach.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people do not like Scott Cawthorn.
Yeah.
And he did not have anything to do with that, but he was still obviously making money off of the sales of it because he owns the IP. The same way that I, you know, like from all intent, for everything that I've seen here, this game seems like it was made by a group of talented developers and producers and artists and all that different stuff. And that it's a property that people like in spite of the leanings of the person who made it. Yeah. Basically. It's kind of like H.P. Lovecraft, right?
Yeah.
Even though J.K. Rowling's still alive, so she's obviously financially
still
benefiting
from it, yeah.
Like, and this also goes back, I was telling you before, to the thing that I've had where, I mean, you know, I run a video game channel, so we're probably going to end up looking at this to see how it looks as a game.
Yeah.
But I think it's just up to the individual to decide whether or not whether or not the artists.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's fair. And I know a lot of people that are affected personally by the things that J.K. Rowling has said and are still fans of Hogwarts. And so it's just, or not Hogwarts, but like Harry Potter. And I think it's kind of up to the individual to decide what they want.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like vilify somebody for being like, it's a magical fantasy world that I want to escape into, or fuck this person, I don't want to give them money. Like, I think both are valid.
Right.
So
plus, I mean, the thing is, I don't care all that much about Harry Potter. Like, I read the books, they were fine. I watched the movies, they were okay.
Yeah.
I never do this, but I turned Fantastic Beasts off because I was like, this sucks. I hate this. This fucking
didn't watch it,
blows.
But,
like, it was boring and stupid and I didn't like it. But the thing with a lot of this that I think you have to remember is that there are a lot of people who read those Harry Potter books when they were children, before any of this happened, that got really invested in this world that is, in a lot of ways, ended up growing larger than the creator of it in people's imaginations, to the point where it's like, well, I do not agree with this person, but like, this is a part of my identity. This is a part of like what I love. It's like my favorite fictional universe. And so I don't want to just like shut that part of my life off forever just because the person that made it happened to turn into a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So also, like, you know, it was a long time ago we talked about a developer who went on Twitter and was like, yeah, I just wanted to come out and say that, like, I'm pro-life and I think abortion is a sin and whatever. And it's just one of these things where it's like, I really wish that large-scale media people would just not, like, not either way. Like, I don't want them to be any political leanings. Like, I want them to be, I want somebody to take their phones away from them and then to be like, what would you like to tweet today? And they're like, say all gay people are bad. And they're like, what a wonderful, it's the 10th anniversary. What a wonderful day. Okay, I did it.
They like say a horrible thing and then they're like, the person, I got a case of the Mondays. Right. And that's it. Like,
Monday, Tuesday, wine day. Am I right, you guys? Like, because the thing is that whenever you put something out like that out there, I mean, it's everybody's right to do whatever they want to, but there is a consequence for that. And me personally, I kind of wish that if you're making things for people, that you just kind of, like, if you're a fucking running for governor, yes, put your political opinions out there. You know, but if you're fucking making TV shows, like, I don't care what the political leanings are of the people who made the Panda movie or Salad Fingers or any of this stuff. And the only thing
I desperately want to know
what's going on
with the guy who made Salad Fingers. I think we all deserve an explanation.
You know,
there.
just what the fuck, man? Like, what the?
Like, are you okay?
It would be funny if you fucking find him and he's just like this. He's got like 4 kids. And
he's just like a normal dude,
like making sandwiches in the morning, and he's like, oh, you know, every day I get up and praise Jesus for my loving family.
I really like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but I have to cut the crust off because it's too spicy for me.
That's right. I have 1 glass of wine and I'm done for the evening.
Or just like, you're very boring, sir. And then he just has one room where he does all the salad finger stuff, and it's horrifying.
It's like in a basement, an unfinished basement,
one of those,
like a Blair Witch basement.
You open the door to go in, and like light just gets absorbed, and it's just pitch black. Yeah, horrifying.
So anyway, I wish a lot of times that media creators like this would just not.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in any direction, like, I'm not even saying, I mean, I'm, you know, we're fucking lefties, all right? We're from Austin, Texas. Most of us are fucking lefties.
I'm from Southern California, more lefty than you are, brother.
Okay, all right. Let's not get into California versus Texas. But, like, on the same token, it's like, it would be easier if I could just enjoy the product without having to deal with fucking H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name and his horrible
don't look it up
stupid shit.
So
but in this case, I really do think that this game is what I really wish is that they would have, I mean, it's too big. When you see it, because you haven't seen this yet, but
I have not.
Fucking huge. This game is too big, but I really wish that they could have just filed the serial numbers off of it and changed it and been like, it's all about Larry
Lopper, the magical boy who definitely is alive.
Yeah. Either that, or I wish they would have just converted it to a full Chuck Tingle game where it was
just my god,
with the Raptors.
If Chuck Tingle, I'm putting this out there now. If Chuck Tingle ever came out with the game, you and I full playthrough.
Oh sure,
100% sequential. Patreon done.
So anyway, we started today with the Hogwarts Legacy State of Play, and like, I think that we hadn't really seen anything from this before outside of just general overall kind of sizzle stuff, and like, this is a third-person action game. It's taking place in the 1800s in Hogwarts. It's like you're coming in as a special 5th year.
Like, normally you come in a lot younger than that, but they forgot you at some point.
But your character has some kind of power that they want to something, and like, apparently there's some kind of like conspiracy of like evil goblins that are teaming up with dark wizards to try to like kill off the school or whatever. So it's the 1800s. You get to make a character. There's a big character creator, and then it appears to be a third-person action/adventure game.
That's kind of neat.
Should have a word for that. Action and
adventure. Never heard of it.
And
it'll never catch on.
It looks really solid. Like You have to go to fucking class. You got to make friends with buddies, and then the buddies will go on quests. You go to Hogsmeade. You can fucking wander around. Apparently, at a certain point, you just get on a broom and go wherever the fuck you can just fly wherever you want to.
Hell yeah,
the world.
you can.
You get sorted at the beginning into one of the fucking houses. I'm wondering how that works.
How many people restart their game until they get the house they want?
I want to know. See, what I want to know is I want to know if somebody can make a piece of Harry Potter lore where you get to be in Slytherin and it's cool. Like you just like, hey, there's a bunch of cool guys. Fucking, it's like the skateboarding punks of Harry Potter.
That's fair. Slytherin's cool. People like Slytherin. I know more. I'm friends with more Slytherins than anything else.
Well, there you go.
John's a Hufflepuff.
That's not.
He refused to admit it, but he's a Hufflepuff. I'm a Ravenclaw. You're a Gryffindor.
I'm not a Gryffindor. I'm a Hufflepuff all the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm a big soft boy that likes to please people. You know, come on. I want to be a Ravenclaw, but I'm not.
I'm a Ravenclaw. I'm just a cunt. I'm sorry.
God damn. Okay. This is right on out there. But like you can see, we're watching the state of play thing for this. I've got it up on the TV and shit. Like it looks really good.
It does look really good. I do have a weird itch to play it. Oddly enough, we were talking about it and I was like, don't care, and then watching it I'm like, oh, I can see myself getting into this kind of game.
Yeah, like, so it's kind of an RPG. The whole combat system is based on different like spells that you do.
Yeah, we're watching a duel and I was just like, gank this other student, just get him.
But then also when you go out in the world, there's like dudes that'll try to jack you on the street, so you got to fight them, and then there's like monsters. But then some of the other stuff adds into it, like you'll go to potions class and learn a potion, and then apparently part of this is that the main character is able to go into the room of requirement, which is the room in Hogwarts that gives you whatever you need, basically. And so the room of requirement ends up being your base, so you can like make potions, grow like plants, or like raise animals or whatever, and then use those in combat. You can make like a stone skin potion and then drink it to get a defensive boost.
Nice.
And apparently the whole thing is also very RPG, where you can like kind of specialize in certain types of magic as opposed to others. But then also you just get to walk around like did a really good job.
Fully formed Hogwarts. It looks like
like part of the developers talking was like, well, we had to figure out like how does all this fit together, because you have to be able to just walk between all the different areas in the game, you know. And yeah, it looks good. Like,
yeah, it looks really good.
There have been a few Harry Potter games in the past. There was the Lego Harry Potter games that I think were well received, and I think there was something that was kind of like this, but it was more of like it was kind of done on the cheap as a cash-in type of things. Whereas here, it looks like they gave poor Avalanche Studios, who keeps getting fucked. They keep getting fucked, but hopefully they won't get fucked this time. Where it looks like they gave them the time and the money to like make a big old world full of Harry Potter shit for people to walk around and do.
I'm gonna play this fucking game. I might play this game. What the hell?
Amanda's just like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
this rules.
What is this?
What the fuck?
Inside me, is this a desire to play this fucking game?
Yeah, why do I want to play this Harry Potter game?
Yeah, that's weird.
So yeah, there's a lot of like kind of iconography.
Yo, were those goblin cops?
I think
just like a brief moment, they looked like they had little police.
I think they're like the bad guys.
Look at, do you see?
Oh yeah,
they got little police outfits on.
They do look like goblin cops. Yep. Apparently this is like the bad guy.
Yeah, he looks like the bad guy.
And
that's police brutality, Hogwarts.
So like, yeah, they've shown some kind of like having these like wizard duels, and it kind of looks like it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Arkham Combat, where like people kind of just stand there and then you get to focus on a few people and they're not trying to overwhelm you.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of different, they didn't show really how the mechanics of the game work, but like you have a bunch of different types of spells. You can like Leviosa or Accio or fucking Stunnerino, whatever the fucking.
I'm about ready to add abracadabra people, you know what I mean?
There was a part where the main character from this seemed like he was screaming that. I'm like, I'm not sure you're supposed to do that, dude. Like,
yeah, isn't that a murder spell?
Yeah, that's how you fucking kill the shit out of people in this world.
He's like, murder.
Yeah, but and the other thing is, I'm not entirely sure as well whether the reason that this looks so good is just because it's like a next gen game using Unreal, and so like you just put rocks in it and they fucking look amazing. You put water in it helps looks great.
That it's very like green, and it's very stones, and that together always looks really good. Mm-hmm. And you just have to make halfway decent people and monsters, and you're like set.
But but
it is kind of beautiful. Like, it is really well developed looking world.
Yeah, the combat looks fun. The environments look fun to walk around.
There's something funny about just like floating somebody in the air and they're just like, I can't.
I think the funny thing is that our main character, a child in school, is like, I'm gonna throw an exploding barrel at a man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fine.
A child or a teenager? Right?
Maybe
5th year, he'd probably be like a teenager at that point. Harry Potter started at...
Do they go to high school?
13 or 11?
I don't know. Because in the movie, fucking Daniel Radcliffe's like 8 when they start, like 35 when they get to the last movie.
Yeah, it was weird. He was like 55 years old and graduating high school, but... I don't know, man. The wizarding world works differently.
Yeah, is it naked with a horse somewhere? I don't know what.
Oh, I watched that movie.
They stapled the guns
to his hands. Yes,
that's my favorite thing. Is that they made the meme where it's like me in 2019 and it's like Harry Potter, and it's like me in 2022 and it's him from
Guns Akimbo.
Guns Akimbo, yeah.
Guns Akimbo was fantastic.
So yeah, I gotta say it looks good. Like, I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter, but this looks like a fun video game to play.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that they were able to lean so hard on what is obviously the really talented, all the money that went into the art direction of all the movies, to then lean on that as a way to, to create this older version of Hogwarts. Also, it's great that it's in the 1800s, so you don't have to deal with the fucking fantastic beasts. Gay Dumbledore and gay Johnny Depp are having gay wizard adventures.
Well, and even just like, you don't have the actors. You don't have to worry about the actors from those movies and being like, that's not this person or that or terrible... I don't know, like
dead-eyed CGI
versions
people.
Of them. Yeah, I just really don't want to see Maggie Smith, but like not Maggie Smith.
Also, I want to make it very clear that I didn't have a problem with either Dumbledore or the other guy being gay. It's just those movies piss me off.
Yeah, it's not that. It's that it was done in a weird shoehorny kind of way.
Yeah.
Herbology. This is what I'm talking about. Herbology in the Hogwarts. You know what I mean?
So yeah, this is the room of requirement, and you can like add like potion tables and all kinds of stuff.
That's really neat.
And you've got like a little...
What the fuck?
That was that stone skin thing I was talking about. Yeah. And you get like a little...
Do you get a little familiar? Do I get a buddy?
Apparently there's like a whole...
That's right. In Hogwarts, you get a little fucking friend.
Well, you have like
You're
an
supposed
owl.
to have a pet. Yeah, an owl, a rat, or a cat, or a frog.
Yeah, you can...
I'm more of a frog girl, but like, that's cool.
Apparently, there were several parts where apparently one of the things that you can do is you can add the... oh
my God.
Add onto the like room of requirement this like a whole outdoor area, just like a door that opens to an outdoor area. And there was like a cat out there that you could pet, that you could like brush the cat.
I only play video games where you can pet the animals.
Pet the dog.
Yeah. I follow a TikTok account that exclusively tells me that. It's literally, can you pet this dog?
Yeah. So like, yeah, you can make this whole outdoor section. Yeah, there you go. Brushing the cat. Weird cat.
Yeah, considering that like regular cats actually exist in Harry Potter.
Yeah. And like, just riding a griffin.
Yeah,
Hogsmeade,
like you do.
All that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Looks pretty cool. I just and it's coming out holiday this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say Harry Potter is always treated like a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
so it makes sense. They showed like different outfits you can wear, and one of them was definitely just dress like a human mushroom.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the big thing from today.
Nice.
That's not the only thing though. Because
that's the end of the podcast. Oh. We just wanted to talk about Harry Potter.
This is going to be a little difficult because Xbox did an ID at Xbox stream that is like 2 fucking hours long.
Was this yesterday? Or like for us yesterday?
I believe it so. Was, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't they announce? Hear me out. Mm-hmm. Didn't they announce that a video game, it was a wrestling RPG game?
Yes.
So I was asleep. This happened while it was between shifts. So I worked 10 to 11 hour shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hear John go, "What?" and then all I hear is somebody say something like wrestling related, and I was like, "I'll find out later," and went right back to sleep.
Yes, that was definitely in here. We will get to it.
Okay.
It started with this game called Lost Eidolons that looked like really generic when I first saw it. It was just like a bunch of like knights and sorcery.
Yeah, nobody's blinking.
But what it actually ended up being is it's a tactics game. It's like so the reason everybody's so dead-eyed is because you're supposed to be like looking at these guys from like way up high, and then it's like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics or something like that, where when you actually play the game, they showed later on like it's like you're moving guys on a grid, and then when they fight each other, it goes into a pretty good-looking like little 3D cutscene.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I was really distracted with this one because
that font is
I was originally watching it on like a YouTube stream, and it was really choppy. Like it was unwatchable. It was so choppy, which is why we're looking at it on Twitch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So from there we got the Tunic trailer, and
it's so cute.
Michael and I played Tunic, and it seems like a bit of all right.
It's on
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Yeah, John downloaded it, and he's like, "You'll want to play it," and I was like, "I want to play it."
It looks
like Link's Awakening, but you're a little fox boy, girl, boy.
It doesn't really say
fox person.
Fox. We spent our entire 40-minute dojo of it trying to find a sword.
Nice.
We just got like a stick, but like it was really nice. It's got this kind of little depth of field effect to it.
Yeah, like the Link's Awakening thing, that like tilt shift shit.
Yep. And it there's no like English text in the world. Like it's all this like weird like crazy text.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know if you're going to eventually
understand what's going on,
understand it, but then they also have, you saw it before, these weird like, it looks like a page out of a Nintendo Power that are like the tutorial pages that you'll get, like you're looking at an old magazine, but then in between it's very, very Zelda-y, which we've known about this for a long fucking time.
This is kind of super up my alley.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I Link's Awakening is the only Legend of Zelda game I've played almost all the way through. I stopped right before the end of it, so John could play it, and then I just never got back to it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a super this is it. You give me action adventure, but adorable.
Yeah,
that's my jam. If you give me action adventure and it's like dark and brooding, or like but real difficult, or like hyper realistic and shit, I'm like, don't care.
Yeah,
give me cute. Give me a plushie that fights. Like, I'm down.
I also thought that was really interesting because that game is like $30 on Steam or whatever. Like I would normally expect something like that to be like in the $20 range. Like I actually bought it on Steam, and then they announced this and put it on Game Pass, and I was like, refund. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you guys can go watch the dojo if you haven't already seen it.
Go watch it.
This is one that I'm really into, Amanda. I don't know. You are going to be really into this too. This is Immortality. This is by the person that made Her Story and Telling Lies.
Okay.
Which are the like.
Didn't we play those?
No. I played
Story?
Telling Lies with Michael, and Her Story we've never played. Where it was like very much a live action video that you have to look through to figure out.
Yeah. Okay. I watched someone else play it,
but this
I was kind of interested in what it was.
This is a thing where it's like there was an actress. She only made 3 movies in the 70s and was very popular, and then disappeared. And you have all of this footage, and you're trying to figure out like what happened to her. And based on the footage.
That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like you would really like this because the guy that made this, they did a really good job of making this 70s stuff look
very
like 70s stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's impressive.
Yeah,
it's like starts with an interview, and it looks like it's straight up some nighttime television.
Yeah, like the Tonight Show from like 1972 or something like that.
Very interesting.
But yeah, and then apparently the whole kind of thing is that there's this weird like match cut thing where you can like click on the face and then you go to a different face in a different place to make connections, which is interesting. But yeah, this is coming out in the summer. I mean, we've seen trailers for this before, but I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
Like, it looks really cool. Like something that I would have fun. Michael and I got weirdly into telling lies because it was just like a whole bunch of video footage and you were just trying to figure out like, okay, well in this one, like this part of the Zoom call, he mentions Cindy, but didn't they say before that like Cindy went on vacation somewhere? And then like, wait, did they talk about where she went on vacation? Like I'm trying to figure out like,
and you like go back to the conversation where they mentioned it, and then you go forward. And then you end up with a wall behind you with like printouts of everything people said with red string just tied in the
Pepe Sylvia, man. Gonna Pepe Sylvia that stuff. So yeah, that's Sam Barlow. Like I said, I've really enjoyed. I enjoyed that other one. I never played Her Story, which was like a murder thing where it's like a woman in an interrogation room and you're trying to figure out what the truth is. I hate the way that Twitch works.
Me too.
Also, I hate the way that they did this.
Yeah, me too.
So the next one was Chinatown Detective Agency, which is just a like point and click adventure game, but with like a lady protagonist, kind
pixely. It looks like a game we've played before, honestly.
Yeah, kind of cyberpunky, except they keep the character portraits are these like really detailed little like digital paintings.
Yeah, I mean, which are nice, but yeah.
And it's fully voiced because the person presenting it was like the
voice actress
who does the main character. I don't really know how much to say outside of that. Like, it just kind of looks like an adventure game.
Yeah.
I used to like adventure games a lot, but I've kind of just not as much played them anymore.
Yeah.
So. Let's see. From there, we got another golf. Is this Golf Story? What the Golf?
What the Golf?
Curse to Golf. We got an announcement. This is from Thunderful. So when they did the Mark Hamill Thunderful thing, they showed this. You're like in the underworld. You're like a dead spirit who is forced to golf in the golfing underworld.
Truly hell.
Yeah. And you've got like all these different kind of powers and these different golf spirits that you can learn from. I mean, it looks great. It looks
it's cute. Yeah.
Similar.
Still a golf game, though.
Yeah. I really like golf games, it turns out. So.
I don't know what it is, but if it were tennis, I'd be down. For some reason, tennis games are my jam.
Because I didn't know why, but like last year, Mario Golf came out, and I just got fucking into it. Like,
I tried it once and was like, never again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Golf, man, sucks.
Yeah.
Not really a putt-putt girl. I'm more of a bowling girl, you know what I mean?
Fucking every time they have one of these and they talk to the developer for like 25 minutes and it's like, I don't care.
It's a game about golfing.
We saw another trailer for Trek to Yomi.
Hell yeah, dude. I just told my friend about this.
Which, is...
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks cool and cinematic and like different.
Oh, it was literally last week they had the State of Play where they had another trailer for Trek to Yomi. So, but yeah, it looks good. I mean, it looked good before.
Yes, you don't have to... doesn't look less good. You struck oil. You could stop drilling. I'm gonna get the game.
You don't have to keep convincing me, motherfuckers.
Right. Shit is super cool.
Yep. Let's see. From there, this.
What the?
Okay.
Fudge am I looking at?
So. What did they even have the name for this where it was I forget the name of this game. It's made by a company called Ace something, Ace Interactive. They made a game called Xenoclash a long time ago that was very weird, and it was a first person punching people game.
Yeah.
And it was very much in this same kind of like everything's a weird looking monster. This is like kind of, I think, a spiritual successor to that, where it's like a third person game and the main character is this weird yellow man.
You know it, like like Abe's Odyssey, where the character designs are like intentionally ugly. It doesn't look like that. It doesn't remind me of that in that sense, but it does remind me of that in the like, we made something ugly for you sense.
Oh my god, halfway through this really weird trailer,
it's a Takis commercial.
Twitch decided to give me a fucking Takis commercial
with Ninja.
With Ninja for some reason. I've never eaten a Taki before.
Have you ever watched Markiplier eat a Taki?
Nope.
Don't do it.
Okay.
He sucks on the powder and then he spits out the Taki.
Why?
I don't know, but it's gross.
That's weird.
We watched.
Is this like a corn chip?
Yeah. We watched a video where he was talking about the different flavors, and then he started doing that, and John's like, I can't watch this video.
It's just too distressing.
Gross. Yeah, just watching somebody spit out food.
So yeah, this is like a third-person brawling game, and then there's also like a little weird dice game where you can essentially, like, if you win, you can inflict like status effects on the people you're going to fight, and if you lose, you get status effects inflicted on you.
Yeah.
And then the main character, this guy, is like trying to save this little black bird looking thing.
Yeah.
And there's also like equipment and weird environments, and it's just very strange. It's kind of Salad Fingers-y.
It's got a little hint of that salad finger. What? Now he's a woodman?
Yeah, when you go to sleep, apparently you have like this whole weird, vivid dream realm that you can go and do more fighting and adventuring in when you're asleep. So
it's kind of, it's kind of neat. I like that it doesn't look like anything else. I like that it's ugly. Good job.
Clash Artifacts of Chaos.
Clash.
That's the name of it. So yeah, and that's coming in November. So,
nice.
T-Pain is playing Crusader Kings in the various points.
Yo, T-Pain is actually a really good Twitch streamer.
We have another one for basically an escape room game.
Oh, nice.
Which is, I'm kind of surprised there aren't more escape room games already, considering, I mean, I feel like escape rooms are one of those things where it's like nobody has told like big companies or they're still a thing and people still enjoy them.
Yeah.
But like nobody's tried to like cash in on the escape room craze.
Yeah.
But this is like an escape. Actually, no, this isn't just an escape room game. I'm sorry. This is Escape Academy, where it's like, imagine if there was a whole Hogwarts that was like nothing but different. So there's like one of the teachers is the teacher of like rooms that fill up with water slowly, and you have to figure out how to get out of them. And
shit.
Like hack the planet instructor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a weird college of like different types of escape rooms, and then you can like walk around and like find smaller little things and talk to the people, the different students and the teachers and stuff. It's a really interesting concept.
Yeah, I don't hate this idea.
Yeah, and that's also coming in 2022, and it's also going to be on Game Pass.
I didn't go to 2 years of Escape Academy just to not be called Dr. Escape Artist.
Dr. Escapo. Yeah. This one looks pretty cool. You know what? I love the fact that games like this are on Game Pass, because I would be hard pressed to be like, should I give this a shot? Should I spend $20 on this? Whereas like if it's on Game Pass and I'm just like, hey, I'll give it a try, and then if it sucks, I'll uninstall it. The end. Like, bada bing bang boom. Oh boy, we gotta speed it up. I don't know. We don't have to speed up that much. We're kind of tearing through this. It's just it was excruciating watching the hosts of the stream try to then play that game for a while.
That's always very frustrating.
Because they're not actually making any progress and they don't know the answers. It's not like one of them is going to be like, "Here, let me show you how to solve one puzzle."
You just have to be like, Push the button. Push the other button.
Yep.
The other button. You walked away from the button.
Shredders is a snowboarding game. We saw it at E3, I believe. Mm-hmm. It's very like rudimentary looking. Like it's very sparse.
Yeah. Maybe that's the thing, though.
I think it's like the Skate to Ubisoft's like Riders Republic or whatever, the one that they had that had all the different types of things in it. Or
I mean, it looks good. I mean, I guess when you're making just like white with some trees, it's not hard to make it look bad, but it looks nice.
You know what? It was weird because I think that when this was originally announced, I had the same reaction that I've had a lot of times about games like this, where I'm just like, who the fuck is this for? It's like, it's for people who like skateboarding and snowboarding games. Yeah. Like there were a bunch of snowboarding games and people liked them, and they're not making them anymore. So if you make one of these, then you can fucking put it out and the people that want that will buy it.
Yeah. I like that the logo in this trailer like had a moment of like the different fonts and graphics and whatever, and it's like that's the most exciting thing that happened in this entire trailer. It was just a real casual like snowboarding thing.
I almost had us play Shredders. It was on the schedule, and then I was like, but do I really want to play this? Like, I'm sure it's fine. It's just like I'm not a big fan of like, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of that sort of game, like of getting all the points from your downhill.
Yeah.
I also don't understand snowboarding. Like I understand skateboarding more than snowboarding. Mm-hmm. just I don't know. I played enough time.
I don't understand snow. What even is it?
What even is it?
I'm from California. I'm from Southern California. I don't
what the fuck even is
snow.
this? Water?
One time it snowed here and the entire city shut down, and I don't know how to interact with it.
Hard water falling out of the sky. What bullshit is that? Stupid. This next one was called this is Flintlock. Flintlock. I'm going to keep saying it.
Keep saying it.
I think it was the first thing on this list. Flintlock's The Siege of Dawn.
The Siege of Dawn.
The developers for this went on and on and on and on, and I couldn't be bothered because I had like 8 different conferences to watch. So I just mostly watched the trailers and fast forward through it. But I did catch one little part where they were talking about like, what if you had a story like Lord of the Rings, but it took place after like flintlock guns had been invented early on, where it's like, well, you have mages, but you also have the ability to shoot people with bullets. So
I kind of like that idea.
It's a very kind of conceptual trailer.
Oh, that's dark. Sorry.
Yeah. The skeleton pulls the sword out of his head.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm just going to take myself out.
So it seems like you got like a sassy lady character, and there's also she's got like a raccoon dog or something.
It's got like bird feet.
Yeah, with bird feet that fucking...
And antennas, and it's like a fox.
It's fox with lightning, and who knows? It's everything. It's all the animals.
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot going on here. Is he eating a soul? What's...
It's just holding him in place so that this lady can shoot him with the flintlocks, which... are notoriously difficult to use.
Yeah, video games has really ruined my idea of how flintlock work like that.
Yeah.
Hardly killed anybody.
But it's kind of interesting. I mean, you don't see that level. I mean, normally we have medieval or machine guns.
Yeah, that's not the in between. Ooh, that's a nice design.
So yeah, there's not a lot going on here. It's very pre-rendered, but it's like, it's supposed to be out this year at some point.
Huh.
I don't know. It's going to be on Game Pass. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Game Pass it up, baby. You want me to play your game? Game Pass.
Put it on Game Pass.
I'm poor.
I only have to buy one thing. What?
What?
Let's see.
Also, give me skeleton enemies any day.
Yeah.
Any day.
Might I interest you in this new game called Elden Ring that just came out?
I am interested in Elden Ring. I just am a terrible gamer.
Yeah.
Can you throw Kirby in there instead? And and I'm down.
I'm sure
I was so enamored. You showed me one of the bosses the last time I was over.
Oh yeah.
And I talked to every other fucking person about that that like Serpent King guy.
Rickard.
Amazing.
Yep.
I can't get over it.
It was very cool.
Beautiful in like a haunting way.
Okay. This is okay. Okay. All right. Great. We've managed to get to where I wanted to get to.
Yes.
So there's this game that's in here called Whalefall.
Uh-huh.
And it has like this gorgeous hand animated little part of the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was like, oh, and then there's these giant sky whales, and then this evil queen lady, she got her goblins, and they shoot down the sky whale, and she's like, do it, shoot down the sky whale. And then they do it, and then after they do it, it transitions into what this game looks like. And my disappointment was immense, and I can't describe it.
Beautiful animation. Here I am.
Yep. And
we're leaning towards it. Oh.
And the game.
Oh my God.
Looks like shit.
Wow.
Like
really
absolute shit. Like they used stock. Like they didn't even do animations for it. Like they just used canned animations.
Yo, this almost looks like a PlayStation 1 game.
Like it looks like a Unity asset flip.
Yeah,
like they just bought these models off the store. But like there's this like hand animated art and like stuff, but then the actual game looks like ass.
Yeah,
like I'm sorry guys, I know that you guys probably put your work, somebody did a really good job with the hand animated part of this, but like
all their money went to that apparently.
Yeah, and apparently they're still trying to kickstart it, so that might explain why they made
if they're trying to kickstart it, maybe that's like a proof of concept and they're gonna do.
Well, it said like it was alpha footage at the beginning, but still it's like
that's pretty bad.
I mean, you gotta put your best foot forward when you're doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, honestly, if you're still trying to get it funded as far as gameplay, I would have only showed that animation.
Yeah.
and not shown
put the thing. Well,
and hear me out. Like I would grayscale the other stuff so it looked like you were like, this is just tester footage to show you how we would want. You know what I mean?
Or like
I would actually make it look actively worse so that people wouldn't expect that to be the final result because that looked awful.
It did.
That looked like Conker's Bad Fur Day. If you didn't have if you played it on your cell phone, like it just looked like shit.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Is that a cowboy floating in midair?
Yeah, this is a game that's been out on the PC for a little while called Void Train, where you get on this train that flows through this void, and then like you have to go out like mine asteroids and stuff, and like other trains will come and like raiders will attack you. It's kind of an interesting concept. I'm not entirely here for it though. I'm waiting for that.
Void Train is actually what they used to call me in college.
I'm waiting for that game where the spider train chases you around, where you have to drive the train and you have to hunt down the spider train.
Oh my God, I forgot about
that. Yeah. This game has been on the PC for a while, and I don't really know anything about it. It's supposed to be pretty good.
I don't like trains.
This was also another one. They had this one that was like this. I forget what the name of this one. I'm sorry.
Is this going to be weird? I don't think I like all these games that do like intentionally pixelated like shit anymore.
Yeah.
I think I'm over it. Except if WrestleQuest does it, because it's okay because it's a wrestling game. I haven't watched the trailer. I just know that like John was real hyped about it.
What the heck was this other one? It was called like I have this article that's supposed to be like recapping it, and it's fucking terrible. You know how hard it is? Just a brief tangent here. You know how fucking hard it is to like get on the internet and get a recap of like a showcase in the order that the things happen, not in the order that's going to be best for clickbait. But like in the order that came out, and all of them.
Yeah.
And you didn't skip 3 of them or stuff that was already there. Yeah. Just like it is so hard to find a recap.
That's an untapped market, baby. Start that blog.
Fuck. But I tell you, there's a time where I just wanted to start I just want to start doing Nintendo Directs, right? But just for like the trailers that came out this week. So you didn't have to click on fucking 8 different trailers. Yeah. So you just be like, hey, what came out this week? Here are like the top 10 trailers from this week. And then we're just going to do it.
And you don't have the like the host trying to be hosty, and you just, hey, here are the trailers.
Yeah. It's just like, here's one trailer after another. And I'm not even going to put like number 10. It's just going to be like, here's trailer, here's trailer, here's trailer, here's trailer. We're going to go buy some of those transitions.
I would do even one up that, and then in between would just be a card that would say the title of the game, the date that it came out, what consoles it comes out for, and then move on to the next game.
Well, because it was funny. I was looking on Twitter at when the Hogwarts Legacy thing was out, and like Sony announced it, and I went into Twitter to be like, I wonder if people are really just like super salty in the replies, or I wonder if there's like drama happening here. And it was a lot of people who were like, in before the Xbox people get here, and then the people were like, Xbox is better. And it's like, this game is on the Xbox.
Yeah.
It is PlayStation 5 and Xbox game. Like, what the fuck is even going on here?
What are you guys doing? Are you guys okay?
Yeah. This is a third person or like top down kind of action game with the pixel art style. The only thing that I saw out of this that was kind of interesting was that you get the opportunity in the game to help people, to get karma, and then you spend that karma to do things like teleport to different areas or like for different types of things. This was really, my brain just would refuse to watch this. Like they kept showing it, and it was like a very,
maybe that's why I got skipped over on the blog posts.
Yeah,
everyone's like, we forgot about it.
Hacky slashy action. They're like, let's show you a boss fight.
I think the thing is that these games that do that like pixely shit, they all kind of look like this, and they all kind of feel similar.
I don't know. There was that Children of Morta, which was really good, but that was interesting.
But like if you don't do something unique with that concept, then it's just every other one of these games to me.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's called There Is No Light. It's coming out.
That's even a generic name to me, honestly.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so here we go, Amanda.
Here we go. Hang on. Oh my God, I gotta get ready.
Here we go. So this is
young Randy Santos.
Hold on. What was the name of this? It was WrestleQuest.
WrestleQuest.
And this appears to be an RPG where you play as Muchacho Man Santos.
Muchacho Man.
And like you have to go, and it's like a lot of wrestling references, wrestling. Like what I saw the developers say, like in this world, there is no kayfabe. It's all real, and everybody's living wrestling 24/7.
Stupid. I love it. I was literally just talking to John about Brutal Legend is my absolute favorite video game ever, and I was like, I feel like I could write a wrestling version of Brutal Legend, and John's like, WrestleQuest is is that it creates the lore of wrestling.
Yeah, so
but makes it real.
It's like the battles are all just lined up in the ring doing like JRPG combat, but with like wrestling moves and stuff.
Lunchbox Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't know any of the references.
That's not a reference. It's just funny because wrestling is so gimmick based.
Yeah,
especially the time of wrestling that they're referencing. That it's just
they also all appear to all be like weird robots or
they
like,
do look robotic. They have the like gear or
the cool segments. Or like little toys almost.
Yeah, I love it.
There you go.
Who's the other guy? Can you go back just
Which
like
one?
2 seconds? There's 3 of them, right? It's Muchacho Man. It's Lunchbox Jimmy. But who's the third guy that's with them?
Down there?
Yeah.
That's Hulk Hogan.
No, it's not. Hulk Hogan doesn't wear a luchador mask. That's a full face coverage mask.
I feel like
Muchacho Man Randy is not Randy Savage. So I just want to know if he's like some variation of Hulk Hogan. Booker T is in this game?
Well, no, he's in this live stream. I don't know if
Jeff
he's in
Jarrett
the game.
is there. No, he might be because Jeff Jarrett's in it. Conrad Thompson, I think, is a podcaster.
Yeah. I didn't watch all of this also because the wrestling people's audio was horrible. They didn't have good like streaming
which
mics.
Is funny because Booker T is a podcaster, so like his shit should be like.
It didn't seem like it was super good.
I wouldn't expect him to know how to run his own equipment, to be honest. He seems cool, but I don't think he's a like tech guy.
Yeah, who's this guy?
Oh, that's Randy Santos. But who's the other? Like, just give me the names of the character. You could literally have just been like, here's the name like of all these characters, and I'd be like hyped as shit.
Yeah. What was that?
Spearberg, like
Spearberg.
Goldberg does spears. Some of those Suave
Stefan.
Suave.
So okay, yeah, it looks. I mean,
this
looks like Amanda and John are gonna play the shit out of this game.
Do you want to do a episode, a dojo where it's just John and I?
Yeah,
Johnny
just like,
Stretch.
I don't even have to be on here because I'm not gonna get any of the things. I'm just gonna let you guys do it. I'm just gonna go fucking get a cheeseburger. I'll be back. You're like, we recorded 65 episodes. I'm like, wow.
We did a full sequential.
Holy shit.
Bye.
It was going for like 40 minutes. So yeah, this kind of goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
I recommend everybody go look at it. I kind of fast forwarded through a lot of this stuff because I didn't have time to listen to people talk about stuff for a million years.
Can't believe you didn't have time to hear people talk about wrestling.
There's this card game called Floppy Nights that is like a weird.
We've all had a few floppy nights in our day.
I thought this was by the people that made Dicey Dungeons because of the art style, but it's not.
It's cute.
Yeah. Yep. Another card game.
John's a card game guy.
Oh my god, we are almost out of time for part 1. We have to get through this because we already have like a million degrees of news left to go.
It's so hot. All the degrees of news.
Why do you guys take breaks? Okay. So yeah, this was talking about a bunch of stuff that's out right now. Paradise Killer, which Amanda and I started playing and then stopped because it was very talky.
Yeah,
it was about
I remember
Murder in Heaven. That's on Game Pass. It's on Xbox.
That was a weird fucking game.
It was on Switch before, I believe, and now it's on.
Didn't we get like stuck in a room? Couldn't figure out what to do next.
I don't know. Kraken Academy is coming out on Game Pass. I really want to play this. It's about somebody going to like weird tentacle high school,
like you do,
and it looks very weird.
Ooh.
And I like it, and it's got a kind of interesting art style.
Yeah.
Citizen Sleeper is like I believe this one is like you have this giant space station that's been like ruined, mismanaged, and you have to kind of like bring it back to life by building different pieces onto it.
Yeah.
And then there's also kind of a story that's hooked into it as well. And then the last thing that they showed, there was like, Beacon Pines, which is what would they say? It's like a creepy adventure, cute and creepy adventure.
Oh, nice.
With a bunch of little like animal
cute
people.
And creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, seems all right.
Yeah, it looks cute. I'm cute enough.
And they're all on Game Pass. And then I believe there was just like a montage.
Why is there just a dancing Sonic the Hedgehog for a second?
I don't know.
That's not the question at this point.
Okay, so I think there was a montage at some point, but that was pretty much the end of it. Mm-hmm. They made it really difficult by the fact that there weren't any good links for this on YouTube, and then Twitch Player is hard to like fast forward through.
It's a pain in the ass.
And like just like I'm so glad that when Sony does a state of play, it's just trailer after trailer with none of this like, we're your hosts for today. And they're going to come back and be like, you know what? I really want to play Tunic. Because you know what they never do is show a trailer for WrestleQuest and then have them come back and be like, what a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm never going to play that. Fuck wrestling.
Wow,
I hate it.
That looks great. I'm a huge fan. Me too, Julie.
Let's talk.
Their names are Andrea and Adrian.
Yep.
They sound the same.
Also, Adrian has a picture of Cave Johnson behind him, and it's very distracting.
I wish Cave Johnson was giving this presentation.
Can't J.K. Simmons just fucking do all of the live streams?
Could he not just tell me
I want
everything?
him to do a Nintendo Direct so bad.
Oh, I would live for
all
that.
right, let's see what we have up next.
They should do that for like Steam Deck games.
Oh, God, just the J.K. Simmons Steam Deck presentation?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, so we talked about all that. I tell you what, we're going to just knock a couple quick things out, one other thing out, and then we're going to go. There's going to be a theme for some of the stuff that happens later in this podcast, Amanda, which is like, why did you even bother with this bullshit? Mm-hmm. So Starfield, right, is the big Bethesda space RPG that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
That we have not seen any of it. Mm-hmm. And boy, howdy, does Bethesda, they love having these round table jerk-off sessions.
Dudes in the room just chit-chatting.
Just Todd Howard and like three other guys talking about how fucking cool their video game is. And it's like, show it to me, Todd.
Yeah. I refuse to believe it until you show it to me.
Well, guess what? There's like literally 4 seconds worth of...
Hell yeah, give me them 4 seconds, baby.
It's just a robot. It's like a robot that's like one of your companions.
Yeah.
But it's an actual render. It's actual 3D model and movement of something that's in this game, of this big old robot that's on your
Wow! Just cuts right back to the table.
Shut up and take my money. Because the rest of it, there was like two new... They keep showing the pictures, the fucking...
Yeah, they're like concept art
mock-ups.
stuff.
Yeah, concept art for it. So
that just looks like Bastion. Am I the only one? I think so. You got a little Bastion-ness from it.
Like,
not like full-on rip-off, but like same generic-y robot guy.
Here's the thing. If you could just show me like what a city looks like in 3D as opposed to a picture of a concept art, because like this is a beige robot in a cargo bay full of boxes, not very well lit.
Yeah.
Lit with like a yellow light.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's great. It's tan and more tan and a robot.
Yeah,
like,
it just kind of blends into its own background.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of anyone that's watched SpongeBob, where SpongeBob was supposed to write a single sentence to pass his class. And he spent the entire time writing the word the beautifully. And the whole time the teacher is like, please just show me what you wrote. And he's like, no, I'm not ready yet. This is the equivalent of that in like trailer form.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that, what are we in, March, April, May, June, 2 or 3 months that they're going to show a bunch of it and then be like, and it's out at Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Like holding it back.
Is this like an E3 thing?
E3 usually happens around June, which means that, but at this point it means that Bethesda will have like a conference at some point around that time period. Yeah. But I really wish they would fucking... I wish that they would either show something or stop making this video.
Show me or shut the fuck up.
Exactly. I don't have any problem with developers shutting the fuck up and doing it, but like, I'm real fucking nervous.
Yeah.
All right. Bethesda's been on a bad streak recently.
Yeah.
And I need some reassurance in my heart to know whether this is going to be a fucking good game or not.
And I feel like there's something different between this and what like Double Fine does when they do their stuff where they'll be like, I'm going to show you the entire making of this video game. Right. Because they will show you the entire making of the video game. It's not just Tim Schafer at a table talking to you about how cool the video game is.
They have monitors in this room. They literally have screens.
Those are all
behind them.
Those are all cardboard. They're actually sitting on a green screen. There's not even chairs there. They're just squatting.
Yeah.
They rendered that room.
Jesus. All right, that's it. That's the part one. We're done. I gotta go watch some Salad Fingers. I gotta get reacquainted. I'll be back. We'll be back in a minute. We're done, even remotely done. See you in a minute. There's more, Amanda.
There's too much more.
Too much more. There is too much more. So the next thing, Capcom had a big Monster Hunter digital event that happened. The biggest thing here was we're going to kind of gloss over some of this because it's not exactly. There's a new expansion coming. They got the release date for it. They kind of showed some of the big monsters from it. There's not like a crap load more to say than that. There's a giant monkey. There's a few new lizards. The one thing that was kind of interesting about this is that there's like a new area. Apparently, you have to like beat the game up to like the 7-star rank quests in order to even get to this place, which is interesting because a lot of games I feel like these days are just like, just go do the DLC. Like we're just going to scale it. But Monster Hunter, because it's very much based on like overcoming the monsters in a specific order and a specific difficulty. They're just like, you have to actually, you have to get good before you can get over here.
That's why I don't play, because I can't get good.
Yeah. The new Monster Hunter Rise was great. I've never played one.
Everyone's told me it's great.
I think I'm going to try to get up to that level on the PC because it's not that hard to do. But yeah, so they showed this event. They showed a lot of the new characters, some of the new monsters, this new kind of land full of different new characters in a hub world. It's going to be coming out June 30th, so you got plenty of time.
Level up, noobs.
Yep.
Not me, but you.
They talked about it. It's just like, well, you can buy the expansion, or you can buy the base game and the expansion. And it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Yes.
Apparently, though, one of the things they're doing that I thought was really interesting was that they're giving out this... they're just gifting to everybody who has the game like this gear that makes it easier to level up, like to level up faster.
They're like, you guys have really sucked at this game, so we thought we would help you out a little bit.
Like if you want, you could just put on this new gear and go. But yeah, I mean, it looks like more Monster Hunter. I mean, there's not a lot to.
Yeah, it seems like people that like Monster Hunter, it's like you want more of the same sounds insulting, but I think.
Well, yeah, but
I don't mean it that way. I just mean like it's like.
Monster Hunter is all about like hunting the monsters more than it is about specific plot elements. You know, so just like, okay, we're going to raise the level cap. We're going to add more gear. We're going to add more monsters. We're going to add a new hub world with new people in it for you to go talk to.
Yeah.
Bada bing bang boom. You're done. It does, though, have like a very... Okay, so one of the things that's really weird is that the Monster Hunter Rise takes place in a very like Asian-inspired village like setting. And this is very kind of medieval European.
Yeah.
And it also has some kind of like weird... I don't know. They in the trailer for it, they had like this kind of like this red moon that came out and kind of like these horror elements. And then... At a certain point, they were showing like one of the things that you can get. Well, like you could see it here, like the costumes are like these weird like vampire hunter outfits or something. Like fedoras and long black trench coats.
Yeah.
And like you could dress your cat up like a nun, apparently.
You don't want a nun cat?
Nun cat. But then also they have some amiibos, but then also they have like these character designs.
Dragon-y inspired.
Dragula.
Yeah.
They're like Dragula. They burning all the witches and they're going through the ditches. No, I mean like the Palico. He's got like a red cape and a black top hat.
I know. Damn, that is the fanciest Palico I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, so they look like Draculas.
I never drink wine.
So yeah. Pre-orders started last week. All that stuff. They're giving you, like I said, weapons and armor that you can use to level up faster,
or to look like a vampire,
Yeah,
whatever.
Et cetera. So
dope.
Let's see. From there, we got the announcement that by the time you hear this, depending on if you're the sort of person who listens to the podcast on Sunday night when I put it out, or Monday morning on your way to work.
Yeah.
Japan's been doing this thing where they've been doing these fighting game dev roundtables, and the next one is going to be taking place on Monday, and it's going to have basically people from like Capcom and SNK and Arc System Works and Sega and Bandai Namco. So it's going to be kind of like a cool little roundtable.
Yeah, that's kind of dope.
Fighting game people talking about
Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Virtual Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gear.
Nice. So yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. You know how we were talking a lot of shit about Bethesda before?
Yes.
Well, okay, wait, hold on. I did this out of order.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, sorry, wrong transition. Let me load up the right transition. Speaking of events that are happening,
yes,
EA's big showcase event is not happening. So over the last couple of years, EA has been stepping into the space that Sony left when they stopped doing E3.
Yeah.
By having their own big showcase. They announced that they are not going to be doing that this year, and instead they're going to be doing like individual game announcement presentations, which I kind of think is the way to do it anyway, because it means that instead of me having to fucking work my ass off on the week of E3, I can just be like, okay, this week it's the Monster Hunter showcase.
Yeah.
This week it's the Hogwarts showcase. The other reason I think this might be happening is because I think that EA is kind of fucked right now with the state that the new Battlefield game is in. And so they're probably having to shift development people from other things that were getting ready to be shown to fix that game, because if they do not fix that game in the next 6 months, the player count is going to be so far through the floor that it won't ever matter if they fix it.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of a shame, because there are a few things that EA is doing that are not Battlefield that seem like they're kind of interesting. One of those is the Dead Space remake.
Oh, right.
So they had a Dead Space presentation, a 4-part presentation. It is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen, because it's all based on sound. It is like specifically like it was like a 20 or 30 minute like sound presentation. Like one of them was just like weapon sound effects, and so they would like show what the original weapon sound effect was like in Dead Space, and then they would show, or you would listen to like what it sounded like in the remake, because they're doing another showcase, I believe, in like a week on the actual visuals of the game. But it's just such a weird thing, because you never see people focus this much on sound.
Yeah, and then the week after that, they're going to do a showcase where it's the taste of the game. You lick the screen, and then they show the newer version. You lick the screen again, and you can taste.
Oh, that's
the
even
difference.
worse.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But like, it was weird how in this they literally showed like the layers of sound that go to make like a gunshot.
This is a weird thing to. I mean, like, not weird, and like this is weird to be proud of. Like, they should be proud of their work if they're putting that extra work. But like, this is a little like, you don't necessarily have to show me how the sausage is being made.
Yeah, this almost felt like they were like, well, we have to show something.
Yeah,
they're like, well, we could do a presentation on the audio.
Right.
Jim won't shut the fuck up about the audio.
But hear me out. Do that presentation. Don't make it a 4-part series.
Right. Well, okay. So this is even like this part of this video is where they're playing the sounds. Yeah, each one of the sounds that are then layered together to make a shoot noise.
Yeah.
To show you the different parts of the sound.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right. But also 4 parts.
Well, they're also not very long. They're like a few minutes apiece.
They're too many. But they're making one video.
The weirdest one to me was this Alive system where they literally are putting a system in here into the new Dead Space. What they were talking about is how, like, okay, so in the previous game, Isaac's breathing and like grunting and like noises that he made, because in the first one Isaac didn't talk at all.
Yeah,
are all like just kind of like, so if Isaac is breathing and then you hit the attack button, the melee button, like the breathing just keeps going, and then they just layer the like over that, and if you listen you can kind of hear that like the breathing is still happening behind that. And they're like, so we've created this whole system of blending the audio of like the heartbeat and how much he's breathing, and how the breathing is based on this virtual counter for how like worn out or scared he is, and then it'll like come down if you stand still over time, and then so that it's not. And I'm like, this is a level of detail that I don't know that you needed to do, my friends.
Yeah,
like,
you guys might be focusing on the wrong thing.
Like, you've created a lot of.
I'm impressed, but also like.
Like they show in this one that they recorded 3 versions of every line of dialogue that Isaac has, depending on whether he is regular, hurt, or scared.
Yeah.
And that he'll say the same lines with a slightly different inflection depending on how that is. And it's just like, I don't think anybody would have noticed that. Or there are ways to hide that in the game where it's like, oh, then we go to a cutscene where he runs through the door, and then his dialogue is like, Rebecca, there's fucking monsters everywhere. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Instead of having to like worry about like, well, what if you've just been running, and then when he talks, it doesn't sound like he's been running, and it's like, it's a video game.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we're getting to that point of mass immersion.
Or like they talked about how if he's out of breath, then like there's like meters that then determine like how hard he's breathing for how long to catch his breath to get back to normal. It's so intricate that it's kind of fascinating, but on the other hand, I watched it and I was just like,
that's too much.
I don't know that this is it all necessary. I don't know that anybody has ever been like, you know what I really hated about the first Dead Space?
The breathing.
Was the breathing audio. It was just
couldn't play it. Too much breathing issues.
Took me right out of the game. Took me right out of the game. So
life system, adrenaline, limbic system response. That's too many slices, guys.
This just goes on for a long time. And then they had another one that was just kind of like a atmospheric walkthrough of showing kind of like creaky noises and the kind of dripping and the air vents and the kind of creepy soundscape. That I get, like, Yeah,
you want to feel like you're in the world you're in, so you can't.
That's like way more important than the breathing or like how many layers are in the shooty sound effect. I don't know,
right? Because it's a horror game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So breathing, heartbeat, inflection, if they don't sound scared or they don't sound affected by the environment, maybe it does affect it. Maybe when they were remaking it, they didn't have that emphasis and they took them out.
Maybe.
And so they put that detail in, and then somebody has OCD and hyperfixated and then stuck with it for a little longer than necessary.
Yeah.
But like the general idea makes sense, right? In a horror game, you need that heartbeat and that breath to sound correct. And then you don't want somebody to be like, a monster comes out, you're shocked, and the guy's like, I better pick up this item. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it changes everything if you have just like a totally deadpan character response.
Yeah, I totally get it. I guess and maybe it does make a difference because Isaac had no voice lines in the original.
Yeah.
He was a completely silent protagonist, and so all of that
what if he was still completely silent except he just had a high-pitched scream? so like anytime a monster comes, you just I
want it to be when they did the Dead Space remake and then the voice actor just has a really high voice. She's like, I gotta go find my girlfriend. She's on the space station. It's like, what are you, 13? Shut up! Everybody says that. I just have a very high voice.
The soda put helium instead of oxygen. This is just how I sound.
So anyway, yeah, there's a 4-part. I don't even remember what the 4th part was. I think it was just like an overview or something. But you know, like, that's fine. It seemed like a really weird thing where I was watching all these conferences with all these details and things, and then it was just like, here's fucking like 10 minutes of talking about just the sound.
Just listen.
Yeah. So we did though find out that the Dead Space is coming out early 2023.
Nice.
So or they are targeting an early 2023 date. That probably means it's going to be pushed back to late 2023.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
But
Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween 2023. Oh,
that'd be nice.
Right?
Remember when the game industry used to put out actually like spooky games on Halloween? And
during spooky time?
Very nice. Yeah. So let's see. From there, we got the news that Stalker is changing its name slightly. Mm-hmm. So Stalker 2, which was Heart of Chernobyl, is changing the spelling of the word Chernobyl to Shornobyl, which is like how it is spelled in the Ukraine as opposed to the Russian spelling of it. This is pretty obvious why this happened.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see. I mean, also because I believe they're a Polish developer. Poland is right on the border of Ukraine, and like there's a lot of we had a story last week about a lot of game developers trying to help their fellow people from basically the country next door.
Yeah.
So it makes a certain amount of sense. I had no idea.
I didn't know either.
Spelled, so, yep. Let's see. From there, let's talk about Elden Ring. Because we got a lot of Elden Ring. Now, come on, you guys got to indulge me. It's nobody's got no booze, no sarcastic yays.
Hiss, yeah.
So we got news this week from Software that Elden Ring has sold 12 million copies in the first 2 weeks that it's been out.
Nice.
Now I know that like. Maybe like I have this Ars Technica story called "Putting Elden Ring's 12 million sales in context." And originally, I think I just had a story from like Polygon or something. I was like, "Elden Ring sold 12 million copies in the first couple weeks." But like I found this one, and it actually is interesting because they compare it to other games. Because I think that a lot of times when you talk about something like this, it's like, does anybody really remember like how many copies of Final Fantasy VII Remake sold in the first 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like I think we remember that like Grand Theft Auto 5 sold a gajillion, but we don't even remember what that
number was. Yeah. It's easy to forget. You need to like contextualize what that 12 million means.
So here's the thing. Ooh. Here's a graph of the previous From Software games, and in their first. This graph goes up to 1,500, but like in their first days since the release, like how much they sold. Mm-hmm. Like Demon Souls was like 1 million copies, and they stopped measuring after that. Like they just stopped.
They're like, good enough.
But the last game, Sekiro, right in the first few months, sold 5 million copies. Oh. So you think like the blue line here. This is Dark Souls 3, this sort of purplish kind of line, which over the course of several years sold 10 million copies.
Yeah.
But this is over the course. I mean, that's 1,500 days it sold that. Like. You got to put it into perspective that from Software's point of view, like this is fucking huge.
It didn't dawn on me that this graph that you're showing, that Elden Ring is a straight line up.
Yes, that it goes before 100 days.
Yeah,
it's just like 12 million right away. Like Bloodborne sold 2 million over the first 170, 180 days or whatever that is. Yeah. Like even if you look at the original Dark Souls, that's like 4.5, 5 million copies over the course of 4 years, 5 years, something like that. 4 years. So like this is huge. Like this is, and in fact, there's a second graph on this Ars Technica stuff. This is compared to other video games.
Okay.
So Elden Ring is here in orange, but like it is above Grand Theft Auto 4. It is above Skyrim in its opening
50 days.
Yeah. It is almost on par with Cyberpunk 2077, which, as you remember, was like fucking Titanic.
Yeah.
Like the things that are above this are Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
But like The Witcher 3 did not sell this well in its original launch.
What's BOTW?
Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's 3 million, basically about 3 million within the first 25, 30 days. And that was considered a huge success for them. So 12 million is like, that's high, especially for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know, that's an incredibly big jump from software. And actually what this has led to is, okay, so I fucked myself here, is that they have now talked about how the fact that it has sold so well means that they want to branch this property out into other areas, because when you get something that sells
like that,
when
you say branch into other areas, you mean other like forms of media, or you mean
it's a good question,
sequel games, or you mean
it's a good question. I don't know that they have specifically gone into what they want to do, but they say that they want to. Customers worldwide have been showering the game with praise for its unprecedented, overwhelming gameplay experience. Please look forward to more of the Elden Ring as an IP, characters and other intellectual property, in hopes of expanding beyond the realm of games.
Yeah.
Now, in the past, we've seen like Bloodborne had some comics, like there's like a Dark Souls board game, you know, but I don't know. This seems like the sort of thing, especially depending on how, like, the lore in here seems slightly better thought out than a lot of the other stuff. There's not as many jumps that have to get made, and there's a lot of room in the before the game and after the game to tell different stories. Like, your character is a Tarnished is not the first one. It's just like your character is the successful one that manages to fucking kill the gods and do whatever the thing is. But like, there's all these other characters that are in the game that are also Tarnished that just didn't do it, that failed.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of side stories that could be done, and depending on how thick the fucking George R.R. Martin game Bible for this is, it means that you could develop a show, animated series, you know, even spin-off games. I mean, it's kind of amazing when something hits this hard. You just start fucking doing it, right? Like, this is the one that you expand on.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it would also not be, I would not be shocked if over the course of the next year we didn't see an announcement that James S.A. Corey, who's the George R. R. Martin's personal assistant, it's actually James S.A. Corey that's two people, this writing team that made the Expanse series, write a spin-off book. Like, I don't think George R. R. Martin would do it, but I think that James S.A. Corey would, because they have the oomph behind them from the Expanse. They have direct contact with George R. R. Martin, and they've done stuff like this in the past. James S.A. Corey, when there were only like 2 Expanse books back when I was into it, before it was fucking cool on an Amazon show.
Yeah.
They also wrote like a Star Wars book that was pretty good that I read. So they've also worked in other IP areas. But yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And it could be really good. Like, I'm really hoping, the big hope for me, and it's obviously going to be a year or at least 8 months before we see this, is the From Software announcement of a big DLC pack for the game, because every previous game except for Sekiro has had a huge story expansion, and for the most part, like, a lot of the story expansions for the Soulsborne series are better than they rush to get it out, and then they take everything that they wanted to put in and they like make the DLC and take their time to build like a really big and cool expansion. So good news. More good news. We're starting to get speed runs for Elden Ring.
God damn.
So the current speedrun world record, it's not officially recognized because you have to submit this stuff and then they have to analyze it to make sure you're not cheating and stuff like that, is 28:59, which is what they call, I don't know how familiar you are with speedrun jargon, but this is an any run, which means that you can use glitches and skips. So I actually tried watching this. It's really boring because it's a lot of going to a place and then getting knocked off a cliff in a certain way and then quitting the game and reloading so that you're out of bounds, so the game doesn't know where you are, and then it loads you into where it thinks you're supposed to be and ends up skipping a whole shitload of the game in order to like flex you forward into another area. It was really dull. Like I don't think there were any boss fights, and the person wasn't fighting anything because they were just trying to get to places to then get to other places that would allow them to hit a teleporter to go to this place that would allow them to run down, jump off this mountain, and then reload into this area. It wasn't really all that interesting. I mean, like, it's interesting to think of how you do it, but it's not especially interesting to watch. I think I would rather watch, I forget what the other tier that's not any is, where it's like you don't allow skips, you don't allow quits, you don't allow that sort of stuff. Where you just have to like
play it,
go forward. Or for like Demon Souls and Dark Souls, they would do like all bosses. So it'd be like you have to do a run with all bosses. I don't think that would be viable. You'd do all main bosses in Elden Ring. I don't think you want to watch a speed run where they're killing every single mini boss dungeon.
Yeah, they're like, my 20-hour speed run.
Yeah. But we have that. Unfortunately, this is probably not going to stand up as a record because From Software put out a big old patch today. And one of the things that it did was it decreased the damage on this one ability that the speedrunners were using to basically kick the boss's asses really quickly to get forward.
Was that intentional? Were they like, fuck your speed run, baby?
Maybe.
They're like, chew your food. You know when people put like baby toys in food to make you chew? You ever heard about that?
No, I've never heard of this before.
I read a book about this thing where people would put little like a king's cake kind of thing where you'd put a baby toy, like a plastic figure.
Yeah.
And so people would chew their food because they couldn't, if you would just like, and you like choke on a fucking plastic toy or chomp down on something. So you had to eat more carefully.
I'm a little mad because one of the other things they did was they debuffed, they nerfed the this Ash summon that lets you summon a copy of your character. And when you powered that thing all the way up, like, goddamn, it was powerful. I even saw a video. I didn't watch it.
That's right. You told me about that, right?
Yeah.
You were, Did they change it so that you couldn't utilize it the way you told me when you first told me about it?
They made it so it's less powerful.
Yeah.
Basically. Like, it's still viable. It's just not like there's a late game boss that I was stuck on for a little while that I didn't beat because I just got tired and I was like, no, I don't want to. But I saw a video online of somebody who put together a build for themselves to where they could summon that copy and then just watch it beat that fight for them.
Oh.
So like that's one of those things where it's like you don't want that to be possible because then everybody, it's going to become the meta where everybody they just do that. They don't do the fight. They just go respec, get the equipment that they need, and then just let the game play itself.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. But it's not all bad news because one of the big things that they've done, piss me off, is they've added like story content back into the game. So there were like a few NPCs in the game where it was like their quests just kind of stopped. And like there was even specifically there was this character called Rodrika and there was this character called Height, and it seemed like the two of them like would end their quest at a certain place and you couldn't it just stopped.
Yeah.
They would just stop responding and you couldn't do anything.
I've never had NPCs ghost me before, but there you go.
Yeah. And they data miners found more dialogue for these characters that made it seem like their quest should eventually intersect into a conclusion.
Yeah.
And it was just not in the game. This patch has put that back in the game. This is the first time I've seen From Software do something like this.
Yeah. Where
there's a lot of unfinished content in a lot of their games, but usually it's just found by data miners and you make a YouTube video out of it, you get 10 million hits, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas here they've actually put it back in, as well as they added a full NPC that was not in the game previously that ties into one of the other quests and makes it work better and complete.
This brings me back to us talking about George R.R. Martin's game Bible and like how many stories, like they're talking about expanding the game beyond being just a game, expanding the IP of being beyond just a game. That like knowing that they're like, oh, we'll just casually put in stories and stuff, it just seems like, oh, there's a bunch of stories just hidden in there.
Yeah,
like lore and I'm sure every game has that, but you just don't really hear people talk about it.
Yeah, I think that the main thing is that in previous Souls games, they didn't fix that stuff because I feel like they were very just like, well, the game is done, the story is done. We had to hack these things off. We're not putting them. We don't want to change the game. We want to just work forward from here.
Yeah.
It really sucks for me because I got to the point of no return and I decided to do the point of no return, which I've been holding off on to try to finish all of the side quests last fucking night. Yeah. And today they put that patch in. And
oopsie doodle.
Killed off some of the characters so I can no longer finish those quests.
There's this really great YouTube video that can help you get further along, and you can, get through maybe like in 28 minutes and 59 seconds.
No.
Just start over and utilize some of the things that you see in this particular YouTube video.
Well, part of it, I mean, there's a joke in the Souls community that it's like whenever you play a new Souls game, you spend 8 hours on the first area and then 15 hours to beat the rest of the game. Like, I think that I'm going to go back and play it with different builds at a certain point.
Right.
And so it's not like, damn it. Also, there's YouTube. I could just go look shit up on YouTube.
Yeah.
The thing is that it just kind of sucks that it happened right now.
Yeah.
Last night I was like, should I do this? And I was like, look, man, you play this game for 120 hours. You need to fucking finish it. Just do the thing. Go get an ending.
And then you went, what's the worst that can happen?
Right. From Software could do something that they've never, ever, ever done before.
Yeah.
And add content to the game that I now can't see.
Hilarious.
Boo. I say boo. But good for everybody else. They also balanced some of the stuff they've added stuff to some of the stores. They've added upgrade materials to some of the places. In fact, when I loaded the game up after the patch was applied, I went to the hub area and it just came with a message that said these guys have new stuff for sale. And I'm like, all right, great.
Yeah.
That's great. I like the fact that they appear to be continuing to support this as opposed to
it's out.
Enjoy
it's done. It. Besides fixing any flaws, it's there. Yeah.
Yep. That it's a little bit more MMO live servicey.
The way it's selling, it seems like it makes sense to do that.
Yep. Yeah. On the bad side, they haven't kind of fixed the game yet in some ways. This is kind of off of a PC Gamer article that talks about this kind of it's a troll. It's a troll.
Yeah.
That basically has fucking these souped up infinity spells that'll come into your game and just torch. Now part of it is that the guy that's doing this says that if they come into your game, then the servers will detect that there's cheating in your game and soft ban you, or basically put you into the bottom rungs of the summoning categories and not let you matchmake as much. There's no real indication that this is actually happening. And apparently from interviews, this guy who's doing this just kind of seems like a jerk off.
Yeah.
He calls himself Malcolm Reynolds, but he is that he says in public statements well, I'm a white hat hacker, I'm doing this to expose the flaws in the code in the hope that From Software will fix this shit because it needs to get fixed.
Why? He's the only one utilizing it that way.
Well, that's not entirely true. There's a story that came out last week of it was somebody got invaded and they managed to kill the invader and they got 86 million runes out of it, which is would break your game. If you spent those on leveling up, you would break the game.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he says this stuff in public, and then apparently if you just lurk on his Discord in private, he's I can't believe these stupid journalists fall for this shit.
Yeah.
And they spread this around and making me sound like I'm anything but I like fucking with people. I like to ruin people's day and fuck with people. So, obviously this is only on the PC, so just be careful if you're playing on PC.
Yeah.
I haven't really even figured out how the invasion mechanics work because I've never been invaded by anything but the characters that are supposed to do that in the game. I've never been invaded by actual people playing, so I don't know. But be careful. Let's see. And finally, I believe this is the last Elden Ring story that we have.
Probably. Maybe.
Elden Ring is on the Steam Deck, and it was running kind of... there's been notoriously bad PC performance out of Elden Ring, and it was running very badly on the Steam Deck. And apparently, Valve has... I really like the arc that the Steam Deck is on, because it's like Valve was like, oh, there's a problem with this on the Steam Deck. We're gonna run it through debug units and see what part of the code is causing performance issues, and then issue direct patches for this one game into the Steam Deck architecture to smooth that part out.
Nice. Yeah.
Which apparently the performance
so
for
it's not the developer fixing it for the PC, thus making it work better for the Steam Deck. It's Steam Deck fixing.
Yes, it's Valve fixing it.
Yeah,
fixing.
They're like, y'all want to play this game? We'll make it so it works on the Steam Deck.
Altering the Steam Deck.
If you're successful enough, other people will clean up your mess.
So what's interesting is because what they talk about is that the Steam Deck represents for kind of almost the first time ever, a whole platform that has common hardware on the PC that you don't have to deal with this. So you can issue a fix because you know that every Steam Deck has the same guts.
Yeah.
So you can look at how to best tune it for those guts and then fix it and then let people do it.
Get up in them guts.
Yeah. Which, I
got to get me a Steam Deck.
The PlayStation and the Xbox, they've been mostly fine. The performance on them has been mostly fine. I actually bought it on the PC, and like I said before, it kind of works fine on my PC. But I do have a kind of upper end PC.
Yeah.
Somebody in the Discord was talking about how if they alt tabbed out of the game to look at hints or stuff, and then they went back into it, that suddenly the frame rate would just tank and it would get super jerky and stuff. So I think that given what we just talked about with the patch that just came out, that From Software is actively working on this. And I have no doubt that eventually the PC version will either be fixed by From Software or modders, one of the two.
Yeah.
But that there's probably one thing that's making a difference, and that they'll figure that out, and then we'll get
It'll
it done.
get there eventually.
Yeah. And I mean, apparently, eventually, the PC version is also supposed to have ray tracing in it, which means that when John and I eventually play Elden Ring, we're going to be using a mage, because I want to see what those fucking big balls of light at night look like with all that ray tracing.
Hell yeah!
Ooh. Yep. Let's see. In other Steam news, apparently, some Steam developers are okay. So there's a game called Domina that's a little game on Steam that's about managing gladiators, and there was a patch that came out for it recently, and apparently this developer likes to just rant politically in their patch notes. So the patch notes for this version that came out read, "Take off the fucking masks. Next time you're at a grocery store, try showing a woman your face. Be confident, unafraid of the lies. You might get a girlfriend. Women like confidence. Women don't like dudes who cover their faces in fear. What are you afraid of? Getting laid? Grow up."
Wow.
This was in the patch notes for a fucking video game. So apparently, Steam's response was that they were in direct contact with this person, asking them what lies are you referring to? Because otherwise you have to change this because it doesn't mean anything. They're taking a much more kind of analytical approach to
Yeah, I love this. What a great way to handle it. Of no, keep going. Explain yourself. Yeah.
And then I will decide whether or not to.
Go ahead and give me more details about what's going on.
Yeah.
Even though we all fucking know what they're saying.
And then also, though, but then they, on their Twitter account, they tweeted, because they're getting review bombed.
Yeah.
Which I think, I'm going to stick to my guns. And I think this is stupid because it's a review. It's a review of a video game.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether the developer says stupid shit, the review is the review, and I want to know whether the game is good, not whether the developer sucks.
Yeah.
So I had a whole rant on one of our Patreon videos about how I don't like it when reviews either hyperfixate on one thing or take into account things outside of the game.
Yeah.
Because that's like an opinion, but a review is evaluating the quality of the product, not the personality of the game developer, not like whether it has widescreen support or whether it's choppy. Like, I think that if if Elden Ring is choppy, knock some points off your review.
Yeah.
But there's also like a fucking 80-hour game with sound and voice acting and RPG systems and stuff that you are not evaluating when you choose to just fixate on the one technical thing and then say no. Anyway, so this person on Twitter, then they had a tweet where they said, Dev suggests courage. Woke mob. No, courage is bad, actually. And there's no such thing as cancel culture also, because they're now like overwhelmingly negative in their reviews on Steam. And it's just like, does that go back to the beginning of this podcast where it's just like, or maybe you just shut the fuck up and make a video game so that we don't have to realize that you're a dickbag. Like, I don't care.
This was clearly done to get a reaction.
Yeah. Well,
why put it in your patch notes? Like, that had nothing to do with patching anything.
The same developer, like had this one where it had the patch notes, but then, at the bottom it's like supporting the developer with cash money because he lives in a socialist utopia where nothing works is the best way to ensure timely updates. Buy the first wave of DLC and the soundtrack, and we'll do our best to keep going into work every day despite civilizational collapse. Also, no way John McAfee killed himself. Highly dubious. Highly fucking dubious. It's like, I kind of feel like this should get turned into, these are patch notes. This is not your Twitter account. These are fucking patch notes. There's another one that we don't have to go into all these.
Like, even then, like, if this were, I feel like it would be an entirely different conversation if these were his tweets versus his, but like in your patch notes, like nobody's asking to fucking follow you about this. They just want to know what's going on with the game they're playing.
Right. Especially because I believe this game is either is or was in early access at one point. It's like patch notes are important to know what's changed, what's added, what's subtracted. And suddenly you're using the patch notes as your fucking like your soapbox.
Yeah.
Like there's this one that's a whole anti-porn screed about like weak men that do porn. Stop.
I got it. Some men still won't fight. They're weak. There's no accounting for weak men. Weak men lack character. Strong moral fiber is hard to come by. It's earned through hard work and sacrifice, and it cannot be had via OnlyFans or Pornhub. No, those fucking things are demonic possessions waiting to show you a succubus titty in the hopes you'll waste a load on her instead of spending that energy studying how to wield or grow a potato or learning a new language. Yo, don't be fucking.
I like the fact that succubus titty is TIDDY.
Yeah. I said it as it was spelled out.
Yeah.
Get off them porn tubes and do something with your life because no one is going to give you a goddamn thing. This whole mess we call civilized. Dude, is this guy in a bunker typing this shit out?
I have no idea.
We need solutions.
Also, this last line.
Really, don't let strangers on the internet tell you how to live your life. If you want to be told how to live your life, read the New Testament. The internet will only give you lies. Yo,
don't let anybody tell you how to live your life, but just like don't look at porno, you weak ass, weak. Like,
yeah.
Anyway,
don't fucking waste a load on succubus titty.
I mean, if you're going to waste a load, like, come on, succubus titties.
Sir, if you know anything about succubi, you would know I have no choice but to waste that load on her.
Yes. There's a reason the internet, one of the internet memes on the internet is big titty goth girls, not like, fucking skinny Karens on OnlyFans or whatever.
Oh, man, that shit is fucking funny.
Anyway, yeah, that's some silliness. So,
sir.
Wordle.
Are we still talking about that shit?
Some people are. Wordle got bought by the New York Times. Mm-hmm. There was a website called Wordle Archive that basically had like all of the previous Wordles stored if you wanted to play them all in a row. Mm-hmm. And New York Times apparently ceased and desisted those motherfuckers right off the internet. They said the usage was unauthorized. We were in touch with them. We don't plan to comment beyond that. I mean, considering how much the New York Times spent on Wordle, this is exactly what you would expect to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you want to protect your shit, right? Like, I'm not a huge...
Sort of. It's just, the thing is that this one you might get away with, but the more draconian you get about this, the less people are going to be understanding. They're going to be like, hey man, this is a thing that we all thought was fun and we made like a thing. And then if you came in and bought it for millions of dollars and you were like, okay, now I own this and I'm going to lock it down. No more anything.
Gotta make it less fun. Spend money.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just weird.
So,
I was never really a Wordle girl.
a Wordle what?
Girl.
Wordle girl?
Yeah, I never played Wordle. I'm a girl. So I'm not a Wordle girl. You'd be a Wordle boy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just get completely.
Then there's like Wordle days and thems, you know?
I just get completely confused. Okay, speaking of the backlash, Square Enix had the backlash. You and I just got done playing Chocobo Racing GP.
Expert drifting on your part, my dude.
Oh, it was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Right off the fucking map.
Yeah, it was
just like
fucking terrible.
Goodbye off the track.
Yep. So everybody hates this game because it's $50 and also full of huge amounts of microtransactions. Square Enix is apologizing. They said that the character's getting some extra paid currency. There's going to be some rewards of the paid currency and like the battle pass, I believe. The XP requirements to level up the battle pass have been reduced. New courses are going to be added for all players. Balance changes won't arrive until season 2. This is putting a Band-Aid on like getting stabbed in the chest.
A little too little too late kind of thing.
I mean, the thing is that like Square Enix just seems to think that they're able to like nickel and dime people forever based on the fact that people love their property. It's like they spent 20 years making stuff that everybody loves, and now they're like, time to fucking burn it all to the ground and cash in, baby.
Yeah, let's exploit it.
Yeah. They also had a survey that they wanted people to take from their other piece of shit game, Babylon's Fall, that came out, asking people. Well, it's funny because what it seems to be focusing on is the graphics in the game, and like the last question is like, how which visual element would need to be changed before you would recommend this game to your friends? And it's like, this game is terrible. Like, it's bad to play. It doesn't feel good to play.
Yeah.
The story is incomprehensible. It's brown. It's supposed to have this like painterly look to it, but I think they realized that they were making like a third-person action game and not Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah.
So it ends up, they turned it down, and now it just ends up looking like muddy and dark and brown and kind of gross. And it's just not very fun, man.
Maybe make a fun game for us to play and not worry about how to pretty it.
Yep. Anywho. Good news in the game development front. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is apparently getting full-on crossplay at launch across all platforms.
Cool.
So you do have to like register with this shift matchmaking thing to do crossplay, but yeah. You can do co-op. You can do 4 players split screen on the next gen consoles and 2 players split screen on the PS4 and the Xbox 3 or Xbox One, not 360.
Wow.
So
jump backwards.
Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to find out how this game is received. Because I don't really care about Borderlands, and I don't know if people are just like chomping at the bit for this. Let's see. In other specification news, Ghostwire Tokyo is apparently getting 5 different graphics modes for the PlayStation 5.
It says 6 right at the top of that.
6 different graphics modes for the PlayStation 6.
For the Xbox 360.
So a lot of games these days have a quality mode and a performance mode. So you usually have one with like ray tracing turned on and 30 frames per second, and a performance mode that's like high frame rate, smooth gameplay, 60 frames per second. But they're also adding in high frame rate quality. So quality with an uncapped frame rate between 30 to 50 frames per second. High frame rate performance, which is performance, but the frame rate will go over 60 frames per second. And then high frame rate quality VSync and high frame rate performance VSync, where they have vertical sync turned on, because a lot of times when your frame rate gets too high, you get this vertical screen tearing. And VSync is supposed to keep everything lined up. So it's nice to see that we're having more
thought put behind that.
Yeah, that there's more options, because a lot of times, you know what I really wish is that we could come to a conclusion, because I was looking at the new Final Fantasy game, Strangers of Paradise, and I was like, well, this one's quality mode, right? Mm-hmm. But does this game have ray tracing? Because if it doesn't have ray tracing, then quality mode just means you're prioritizing more rendered pixels over frame rate. It means like getting closer to rendering at native 4K as opposed to rendering at 60 frames per second. But if it also has ray tracing, I always want ray tracing turned on regardless.
Always be ray tracing.
ABRT.
I really want to play this game, but I have neither a PC nor a PlayStation 5 to play this game on.
Yeah. There was a whole big, 18-minute preview from IGN last week. It was very strange looking, very interesting looking. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it goes. Devolver Digital.
Hell yeah.
Co-founder Mike Wilson is making... This is a very strange thing, and we're going to gloss over it because we're already so far out of time. This new company called Deepwell DTX. So... Mike Wilson, who was one of the founders of Devolver, ended up having he had a relationship, not a relationship, but his friendly with this guy named Ryan Douglas, that is a roboticist and the former CEO of a medical device company called Nextturn. And so the two of them kind of had like a friendship, and they started talking, and what they found was that game developers don't have the experience or training to understand how games are going to affect their customers in a psychological, neurological way. And medical developers don't know anything about how to make a fun experience. So they will make like therapeutic software or games, but they're generally more focused on making sure that the therapeutic aspect is front and center, and they don't know how to add in the like gameplay loop of fun to keep you coming back to it.
Yeah.
It's more of like
it's got to be something you actually want to play.
Yes.
And they're not doing that.
So they talked a lot during the pandemic, and they're creating this publishing arm that has a whole bunch of kind of luminaries in it. Like Lauren Lanning is in this. They have a big 5-minute video where they kind of just talk about it. If you can get through the Wendy's ads.
I never can.
And what they want to do is they want to create something like Devolver Digital that is specifically focused on publishing games that also have a psychological therapy component to them. Like, and I don't necessarily think this game is going to cure your depression, but more of like this game can treat anxiety in a minor way, or can get you into a headspace that's more receptive,
it's slightly more meditative,
right?
Or just play play Journey.
Oh yeah, or you could do that.
They exist. Flower. There's a whole developer that basically makes those kinds of games.
But they've got a bunch of like game industry people then combine with a bunch of like medical people who know how to like specifically gauge what the results of these sorts of things are going to be on a person's psyche. So it's really interesting. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, it is.
I'll be interested to see if they can do it, because I don't really ever talk about it on the podcast, but one of the big things that I heard somebody a long time ago suggest was like, what if you took all of the horrible Skinner box techniques that we use for phone games, but you made something that taught you like a foreign language, but then used those same, oh my God, I can't stop playing this techniques.
Yeah, you get addicted to it.
Addict you to learning something.
Have you not done Duolingo? Because it gamifies it and then adds a nice layer of guilt on top of it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you haven't played this you haven't learned Spanish in 2 days?
What the hell?
What, do you hate your mom?
Yeah.
Like, what? What do you mean? She didn't even speak Spanish.
What have you been doing?
Yeah.
You go to Wendy's?
Yeah.
Is that?
Noticed you turned on the app, but you didn't actually do anything. What's going on with that?
So, yeah, I recommend everybody go watch this. The IGN also has a big-ass article. We don't have time. It just goes and goes and goes and goes.
Read it all to me now.
Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. This isn't a live stream. We have 2 hours and we're done here.
This is a Microsoft Twitch showcase of reading the article.
My favorite part is the part where it said Devolver Digital.
That's the only reason I'm here right now.
Yep. Let's see. Mr. Sakurai is back.
My boy.
Yep. The Masahiro Sakurai, who was like the guy in charge of Smash Brothers, he was the face of all the Smash Brothers stuff, is back. He basically just kind of said,
I'm doing a thing.
I have been away for a while now, but I am working on something. My eyes may be a little tired. You may see me in the near future in a place that has nothing to do with game production. You may or may not be able to see me. I hope to see you again in the future. Thank you very much for your time.
That's almost ominous.
That's
like,
cryptic.
Sir?
Yes. Are you in my house right now?
Yeah, he's like, hello.
You might see me. You might not see me.
But I'm always watching.
Okay. All right. Let's hope he's not in my house.
I hope he is. I want to hang out with him. I bet he's a sweet fellow.
Probably so.
He has kind eyes.
I don't know. I don't know what any of the people who work for Nintendo are like, because they're always just like very buttoned up when they're doing their Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
In addition, Hideo Kojima got awarded a big cultural prize this week. This is from the Japanese Minister's Award for Fine Arts in Media Arts category. And he showed up with a cool tie with peace signs all over it, and like cufflinks with peace signs and stuff.
Yeah, he's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
People on Twitter were real mad at him recently.
Why?
Because he didn't love the new Batman movie. I love following him on Twitter. He's fantastic. He was like, I just feel like it didn't really differentiate between Bruce Wayne and Batman. So it was just like Bruce Wayne with makeup on, Bruce Wayne with a mask on. People were like, no!
Hideo Kojima is such a goddamn nerd.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a fucking nerd.
I love him.
He's great.
I love following him on Twitter.
Yeah. Just having them spicy. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to hurt Hideo Kojima's feelings?
Yeah.
No, Hideo Kojima, you're wrong about the Batman.
Yeah.
You're wrong about your opinion about the Batman movie.
I love it. I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, yeah, I haven't watched that movie, but whatever Hideo Kojima says, I will just agree with.
I think I saw he had his birthday recently, and he had like a big cake with all these like things and these light up glasses, and it just looked like he was having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
he looks like a dork.
Good job, Hideo Kojima. Yeah, he also has some pretty cool.
He posts pictures of his own.
Cool,
So yeah, he did
cufflinks and ties and stuff, and
that's cool.
Little loons thing. So yeah,
look at that fashionable man.
You know what I love the most about Hideo Kojima is the fact that he shows up in other video games. Like there was a whole sub quest in Lost Judgment that was about like a video game studio that was under huge crunch by an ex-Yakuza guy, and Hideo Kojima was basically the guy, and he had run away and disappeared because he was like the crazy artistic genius.
Yeah.
And then the guy that was left was like, I don't know what to do. The producer says he's going to kill me if I don't finish this game. And so you had to like beat up the producer a bunch of times and track down Hideo Kojima with your dog or whatever.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was great. We got some trailers. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out last week on the next gen consoles, so
nice.
PS5 and the Xbox. It looks real nice with the ray tracing and all the lighting and stuff. The Grand Theft Auto 5 already looked a great game. It is a PlayStation 3 game. Like,
God damn,
that
is it?
game came out on the PlayStation 3.
Wow.
And now it is out on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Like,
Rockstar is nothing if not super cinematic.
Yeah.
I will say, though, because this is like full. You could have been like, this is a movie. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, it looks like one.
I think the only other game is Skyrim. It's the only other game that keeps going from generation to generation to generation. Apparently, there's been articles online about how playing the online is really, really. I mean, it's got like 5 or 8 years worth of development in it, and it's like very nice looking now. I don't think you'll be seeing Grand Theft Auto 5 unless I can like wrangle up the right co-hosts for it, if you know what I mean. Because we played Grand Theft Auto 5.
Explain it to me as though I were a child. Do
you need to take the PSATs? Is that what you're telling me? Returnal had a new 20-minute video showing their Tower of Sisyphus, which is basically their new... It's so funny because it's like this game was already a roguelike where when you die it randomizes the world and goes back, but now it's like, well, here's a challenge tower that does the same thing. I really want to like this game, but I just am not very good at it, and it's too hard.
This might be weird. The name Returnal is weird to me.
Yeah.
It feels wrong when you say it. Returnal.
I don't know. I do know that part of it, I'll see if I can show you the part that you would like a lot, is that apparently in the lobby of the tower, nope, that was the wrong thing. So part of Returnal is like there's a weird, creepy story. I don't know if you know about that.
No.
Where like when you're playing the game, there's a part where you go into a...
Am I looking at a tentacle monster?
A what?
I'm looking at your... your like thumbnail skipping.
There's a part in the game where you just like turn a corner on this alien world and there's like a fucking house and you walk into it and it goes into first person and you start walking around the house and the main character starts freaking out.
Yeah.
And then you look out the window at the top of the house and there's just an old school astronaut standing on like outside the house.
Oh, I'm
and
into
you
that.
run down and then like they're not there anymore. And there's some kind of weird thing because it's all this time loop thing, and I really would like to know the story, but I kind of want to know the story by playing the game. And so part of this new mode is that they have this like hospital bed that the main character will like lay down in and then like dream, and then they do the same thing where they kind of go into this first person like now I'm in a creepy hospital.
Oh yeah, I did. I got to like this a little bit of this. I did see this, but I was just like, huh? And then I just like skipped off of it.
Yeah. So, huh?
Yeah, because I watched the earlier stuff and I was just like, okay. And then I got to this and I was like, yeah, I don't.
This
what?
is like Control.
Yeah, like I was just like, is we different game or something? Like I don't know. It's just
there's some kind of like this is where the story is, and I'm really interested in the story, but the game is so hard that I can't really play
fun
it.
Kind of way.
So yeah, in a way where I don't feel like I'm making any real progress.
Yeah.
And the first boss was really hard, and I was just like, whatever. Let's see. From there, we had The Quarry.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Supermassive Games' new game, which appears to just be... this one's being published by 2K, as opposed to, I believe, was it Bandai Namco that did Until Dawn? Or Sony? One of the two. This appears to just be more Until Dawn.
Yo, I'm fine with that, honestly. Who's like, no...
Like it's cut.
Sony Interactive.
Oh, Sony. Okay, it's David Arquette and like a bunch of other.
Yeah, they got
people.
like Lance Henriksen. You had Ted Raimi, who's like huge in the gaming world. Justice Smith, who I think is a phenomenal actor. There's a couple other people.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's like the guy. Well, it's like, oh no, it's the last day of camp and we have to leave, and they're like. And the guy's like, oh no, the car broke down. I got to go into town. Stay inside and lock the doors.
And then
like
they're
the
camping
next
outside.
Thing
yeah,
is I'm sitting around a fire outside, and it's like, oh, guys.
In fairness, though, like clearly they were camping at, like the whole rest of the time. So like, why all of a sudden be like, stay inside? Holy shit! Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, but yeah, I mean it looks more of the same, and but with like a great cast, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, me neither. Who can say? It looks good.
If I have to watch Justice Smith die, I'm gonna take out everyone.
Well, probably everybody can die, right? I mean, that's kind of one of the whole things here.
Point. Yeah, and I swear, he better make it through this damn game.
I just kind of hope that this one is a little bit the Dark Pictures anthology has been like like I really
can you just give me a fucking horror game that's a horror game and not give me like a you think it's supernatural but it's definitely not
right
come on.
Yep so yeah, from there we got a announcement trailer for Hard West 2. Hard West is a turn-based online Western, or not online, a turn-based Western game. I think I played the original one with like Joe.
Wow, really?
To tell you how old it is, I believe, or something like that.
This seemed pretty neat. It reminded me of that samurai game we played not long ago.
Yeah, those are more like real time, but this is more like turn-based.
Oh, heard. Okay.
But the same company that made that samurai game made Desperados 3, which looks a lot like this because it's a top-down little isometric cowboy thing. So, but yeah, looks good.
Fun. Yeah,
looks very sharp. Like, very nice
I love
looking.
me a good Western game.
God damn it, Wendy's. I'm not going to you. Bring back your old fries or I'm not going to you anymore. I don't like the new fries. They're too crispy. Well, it's weird when you have a cold French fry that's very crispy.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Your brain
That's
is
a potato chip.
what is going on here? No. Also, they're all too salty.
They do oversalt.
There's a Rift Tracks game.
Yeah.
They're making a Rift Tracks game.
By the people that did What the Dub.
Yep. Which apparently is like, it's going to be like one of those party games where you can use your phone.
I don't want to be shitty, but like, this is one of those kinds of games, and I felt the same way about What the Dub. Mm-hmm. That is, find out how not funny your friends are.
Oh, yeah.
The like, write your own jokes. It's like, oh no, I've seen people write their own jokes, and it does not work out.
It was no good.
It's no good.
It was no
bueno.
Good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it has Twitch support. I mean, it looks like a party game.
Yeah,
you know.
I feel like it's a game that like some people on Twitch will like play regularly.
Yeah.
But
I think I'd rather just play Jackbox, to be honest with you.
That's kind of where I'm at. I like Rift Tracks, like the guys from Rift Tracks. Obviously, I'm an MST3K fan kind of thing, but like, this is not the game for me.
Yeah.
I also don't do like party games that are like, make with the funny.
Right. Yeah. I don't like to do that either. I'll tell you what I do like, though. Sniper Elite.
Yeah.
The butt sniper.
The butt sniper.
We got a Sniper Elite 5
Is
trailer.
this a Hydra version of this game?
No, there's fucking swastikas right there.
I know, but they were like the tentacle.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know what? As soon as I was watching the trailer and I was like, oh, so it's just another one of these, whatever. And then they were like the arm
Kraken.
the Kraken.
They kept
and
talking
I was
about the
like,
Kraken.
That's just Hydra, bro. You're talking about Hydra.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like some kind of crazy submarine thing.
Yeah.
Like a nuclear submarine, like or whatever. But
what are you gonna snipe the submarine? That doesn't even make sense, Jeff.
I mean, have you played these games?
Yes.
You can shoot the gas tank on the back of a tank and make it explode.
That's
true. This looks super super tight. I hope that they tone down the large open map a little bit because it tended to make things like you're a sniper. So it's like, okay, well, there's this whole way you could sneak through this town, or you could just get on a hill like a mile away and just start plonking Nazis until everybody's dead, and then walk in and do the objective. So I kind of hope that it's a little bit more directed than that. But
can't tell if you do or don't want to plonk Nazis from 30 miles away.
I kind of do. I mean,
or do you want to be up close? I like to be real close and intimate when I'm plonking.
Well, what is it? As of Sniper Elite 4, I believe, where they started adding X-ray kills for melee attacks. So, but it's still pretty cool to watch that Nazis head explode. I'm playing the fuck out of it. I'm playing the fuck out of it.
Yeah, there's no complaints.
Yep.
Shoot the Nazis.
May 26th, 2022.
God, that's close.
Mm-hmm. 2 months away. 2 months and change. 2 months. Casey's mod came out this week for Inscription. I know that everybody doesn't care about Inscription, but I care about Inscription.
Yeah.
So one of the things with Inscription was that, okay, like skip forward if you care or if you don't already know, but Inscription was a game where this whole thing that you saw in the trailer with the guy in the cabin and the getting up and looking at stuff,
it was just the tip of the iceberg.
It was like the first third of the game, and then the game dramatically changed to a different sort of game. A lot of people did not like that, so the developer basically created a version that was an endless version of the first part of the game. So like if you did want to play the first game forever, you can. Like you don't have to worry about the story intruding on you, and that's what Casey's mod is. But it also has like it definitely has new mechanics. It also has, I think, some new lore in it because there's like some kind of glitchy stuff. And there's a whole ARG that is out for Inscription.
Yeah.
I should have. There's a transition I could have made from Sniper Elite, to be honest. But like, this is free if you have Inscription, which is cool.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. I like Inscription. I think everybody should play Inscription. I thought Inscription was great.
Yeah. Seemed cool.
I think that's mostly what we've got. We got some fun stuff left. So Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie trailer came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, Amanda, that it is a direct homage to the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 game cover.
Yeah.
With the giant Dr. Wily.
Solidly done.
Yep.
Like, well done.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And let's see. We got some mods for Sifu. There's a really good one that somebody came up with that was, or it's a pack of mods. So for one of them turns the main character into Neo from the Matrix.
Yeah.
Another one makes all of the enemies into Agent Smiths. Another one of them puts a green filter over the entire thing so that it looks like it's the Matrix. And then there's another one that you can't hear because we're watching this with no audio, that literally replaces like the punching noise with the actual punching noises from Matrix, the kind of
that's amazing. That's so stupid. I love it.
And then you can fucking this is great. Like,
yeah,
this looks great.
Yeah, this is one of those, like, the mod community just making something fucking phenomenal for no reason.
Yeah, I know that some previous ones are like, oh, we turned the main character into Kung Fu Panda and now he's fighting 100 Kermits, and I'm like, no, this is better.
Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah.
The only thing is, I wish that the model of Keanu was a little bit higher resolution.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's pretty great. Like, it kind of fits with everything. Like, this is all the bosses in the game.
Yeah.
And with the various ways that the various types of weapons that are in this game, it kind of totally works.
Yeah, it does work really well. Like, yeah, that's very funny.
Yep.
I love it.
And last but not least, I think that if anybody who's gotten far enough in Elden Ring would enjoy this.
You said we were done talking about Elden Ring.
And you said I lied.
I called it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. There's a YouTuber called Garden of Eyes. We talked about them last week, where they did some no clipping into some areas and found that there was like these arenas that had like hallways and stuff inside of them. Mm-hmm. But they've been known to do stuff in the past, like mod together boss fights between different characters from different Bloodborne, or like from Bloodborne and Dark Souls, to see like who would win in a fight, basically. Yeah. And one of the things that they did was in the opening scenes for the original announcement for Bloodborne, it shows two of the bosses from Bloodborne fighting each other. They never actually fight in the game. They're just bosses that you fight. Mm-hmm. And so he basically like...
Well, we're going to make it happen now.
Yeah, he basically put these two characters in the game and then let them AI fight each other.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a cool... They kind of did a 3-round thing. I think they might have done more than 3 rounds and then picked their best 3 rounds.
That's probably the case.
Make a dramatic YouTube video, but it's pretty cool. It's kind of interesting, especially knowing the mechanics of these two characters, watching the two of them fight each other, because they both have like advantages and disadvantages. Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting to kind of see how the whole thing rocks down. I kind of wish that... I mean, like, no shade to Garden of Eyes. I couldn't do this even if I wanted to. But the camera work is a little... it's a little okay.
Yeah.
Which I realize that this is just...
What's with the horse?
Starscourge Rodan is a general, and does he
ride a tiny horse, and he is a big man?
He was a regular sized man. Mm-hmm. As his ambition grew stronger and stronger, he kept winning on the battlefield and got larger and larger. His horse, which data miners have found out is called Leonard, apparently has been his horse since he was a child. And when he got too big, apparently he learned how to manipulate gravity magic so that he could continue to ride his horse, even though he was far too big to ride his horse.
Tiny horse. And his horse has to live with that embarrassment every day.
When you fight this guy, he has this weak, old, skinny horse that just constantly, like, he'll do a dodge, and then the horse will run over between his legs, and he's kind of riding it, but not really, and it's weird looking, and it especially
looks like... Yeah.
It's especially not helpful when you're fighting him, because one of the best places to be when you fight him is between his legs. So a lot of times you're just like, excuse me, if I could just get past you real fast.
The horse is like, whatever.
But yeah.
The horse is like, let me die.
Starscourge Rodan's pretty funny. It took me a long time to beat him. Halfway through the fight, he becomes a meteor. He just
jumps
up in the air when he's halfway dead, let's see. He jumps up. Oh, no, that was after he's come back down again.
Oh, yeah.
He jumps up in the air, and then, like, the whole area changes. Oh, okay. He didn't do it here. Changes to nighttime, and then he just comes out of the air as a meteor, and if he hits you, you die.
Yeah.
And the game is so good at making that meteor come from whichever direction you're not looking. So I just basically ended up panic running every time I saw that happening and was like,
just run in circles. Serpentine, serpentine.
But yeah, the bosses in this game are fucking great. Like, they've been very, very good. They've reused a few of them, not these guys, but they reused a few of the minor ones. But the overall big bosses are great. Starscourge Redan is, like, I think the big stumbling block for a lot of people, like in the mid game. So that's it.
It's just like gliding around on a horse. I can't get over it.
The horse, it's also, you don't have a lot of time to see it when he's pointing his face at you with his big blades.
Yeah.
Whereas here it's like,
yeah, because you're not. Yeah.
You could really see it happening, and the way that he kind of jumps off the horse and then back on. And he doesn't really have, like, feet.
Yeah, he kind of steps on the horse a little bit too. At some point, he just has, like, his foot up on that horse.
Yep. Anywho, go check out Garden of Eyes. They're great. And that's the podcast. That is it. We did it. We got through too many video games.
It was a lot of video games.
It was a lot of video games.
All video games.
Oops. Well, that's kind of the podcast MO every single week.
That is Rage Select.
Yep. If you would like to help out Rage Select, patreon.com/Rage Select. So it's a good place to go. I say it a lot on the videos, but, like, Patreon pays also for the ability to do this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, it pays for my time, and then my time gets used for different stuff. So yeah, if you want to help out, you can go there and do that. I think that's it, Amanda.
That's it.
There's just nothing left to do but go mod salad fingers into Nia or Sifu.
Jesus, no.